feel any different.
So far,
So
it's the most boring live stream yet.
this is a valid point.
We are absolutely live.
We're absolutely live.
We're absolutely live.
Absolutely.
One
Hey
person
Jess,
has
how's it
already
going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, you've been teasing about a mystery guest tonight. Did you bring a mystery guest?
Holy
Did you
shit!
bring...
Can I introduce the podcast first?
I don't know. You just kept yelling, I think we're live. I think we're live, but you weren't doing anything else. So I was just trying to like get us going a little bit in case somebody was listening.
It's gonna be this kind of night, huh?
It always is, my friend.
It always is.
Isn't it? All right, go ahead. Would you like to?
I'm waiting for people to pop one. You know the deal, dude.
That is why I was making small talk, and you just totally was like, "Can I introduce the thing?"
Yeah.
Anyone been any good shows lately?
That's better.
Thank you.
Are we sure
I
people are
have.
gone?
We're gonna wait for a couple of people to pop on. I have. I saw Face to Face last week. That was fun.
Nice. I saw Cat Fight and Flying Raccoon Suit last week.
Oh, I saw them
Oh, that
2
was
weeks ago. Yeah.
Rodeo Boys on that one or no?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. They're Detroit people. Well, technically Lansing, but my home state. So that's exciting to me.
Nice. Yeah, that was good. That was a great show.
We have the Moon Records up here. We have the Moon Records thing on this weekend. Moon Records 40th
Saturday
weekend. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just recorded something for Cooley for that.
Oh yeah.
Nice. I actually been to a non-ska show.
What? You're out of here. You're out of here.
All right. Yeah. Okay. What was it? May and the Spill Canvas. They're doing the 20th anniversary of both their albums released 20 years ago.
May?
Yeah. May, originally from Virginia Beach, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. Nice. How was it?
Jeff went to go see the Best of the Worst.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I saw the Best of the Worst.
Yeah. I couldn't get that show. I had a show. Jeff invited me. I really wanted to go because I love those guys. They had their album released in Highland Park. Where was that? Pino's?
Yeah,
that was a cool spot.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, Kill Lincoln, Doom Stompers. That was excellent. Excellent.
I got to see the Planet Smashers last weekend with Mustard Plug.
Oh, they're great.
Yes. So that was a fun combination of bands right there.
Well, it sounds like everybody had some shows to pick them up after the Supernova post-festival blues kicked in. I know I had them.
It's real.
Always do.
Tim, have you been sleeping for the last week and a half? Did you like go to bed the Tuesday afterwards and sleep for a week?
Yeah, like Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, I slept a little bit. I still have those panic dreams of like the waking up without your pants on or like not being prepared for a test. It keeps going for like another week after. So I wake up in a panic for at least 5 or 6 days after the festival.
This year around,
mine are that I'll trip over a cord and knock over Jamie's mic stand. That's my panic, or forget words, which both happened. So
well, that's all normal stuff. Do you have those dreams, like those work-related dreams, whenever you're doing something new and you have that one reoccurring dream? Mine's always like, I got to wait tables and I don't know any of the specials. Like, we got a big show coming up. I'm like, God, am I going to remember that song? That's the night I'll have the nightmare where I look out my window and I have to deliver newspapers. And I'm like, shit, I don't remember where those
go. Man, I have two. One is that I spent an entire semester not doing any work, and then I have to do it all over the weekend, which pretty much happened every semester. And then the other is that Catch-22 says, hey, you want to play a show? And then I can't find the stage, and then I'm running late, and then and forgetting words. Literally, that's been forever.
Those are the reoccurring nightmares we have.
Do you have all your toes? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask Jeff if he had all his toes from the festival. Like, there was a lot of people up on the stage.
What's that? Yeah. No, I know. And that's a story in itself. But I will, from here on out, perform without shoes on. I do believe definitely not sandals, but yeah. So I can grip things because I was telling Ryan I have finger toes, so I can grip things better.
It's a little creepy.
All right, well, everyone, you're listening to Ska Talk with SKAgazine, doing a very special live episode tonight to recap the Supernova International Ska Festival that happened 2 weeks ago. With us tonight, we have my co-host, Eric G, and a brand new host on our team, Eric A, from the West Coast. This is our first West Coast presence. We're really, really excited about getting out there. And Eric's been a big supporter from day one, and we're happy to have him.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
This is his audition.
So we do need to figure out the name thing if this works out, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should I just change mine to Matt?
You had to watch the Chief Scarborough episode to get that.
I'll be fake Matt.
You'll be fake Matt. All right. We also have here with us Tim, who is the man behind Supernova and all the magic that it provides to us year after year. And two members of, well, one member of the band Catch 22 and one former member of the band Catch 22. James Egan and what's your name? Jeff Davidson.
Changes.
That guy.
Yeah, we're happy to have them all here, and we hope that you in the live chat will participate and give us some answers to the questions that we asked to everybody who's here tonight, because we want to hear your favorite things about the festival and share them with Tim and everyone else as well. So feel free to participate in the chat, say hello, don't be shy. Am I still up? I am.
Yeah.
You are.
It's your turn, Jess.
I just
Take it
went.
away.
All right, Tim. So you started a very small festival back in 2014 that has turned into the biggest ska festival in the country. Talk to us about those early days and why you started doing what you were doing. What was your goal? What were your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell the story, but like we were doing a house party with Chris Murray and it got out of control. So we moved it to a brewery. The brewery liked it and they wanted us to, like, if you want to do something else. So then we're like, maybe we'll do something with the pie tasters. And that was kind of the only thought process actually for that first year. And the rest of the lineup was the Snails. I don't know if you like with Tim from Catbite and Ben and Chris Murray was obviously there again. And then a country western act was there, and a friend of mine from high school was kicking it off. So it was really, it didn't fit except for the ska parts, and we kind of took those parts and kind of moved forward with that the next year. So we went from 1 day to 2 days to now it's 3 days, or people come for like 5 days. Some people don't leave.
Eric, I'm going to call you out. It's your fucking turn.
What?
What?
It's still you, Jess. It's still you. Okay. Are you sure you don't want to ask the rest of your questions, Jess?
I asked the whole question, Eric.
Are you sure?
I think she did.
Oh, back in a row. All right.
Oh.
I'll take my turn then. So first I'll get on my stump speech. So Tim, first, thank you for what you put together. So as we're a podcast, but we're also a promotions company. We have which we call Be the Scene. When we started the podcast, one of the things that we wanted to do was we wanted to just encourage people in their local scenes to show up to shows and to be there. Like our catchphrase was, if you want to have a scene, you have to be part of the scene. And what you have created is probably the biggest ska scene in all of America for 3 days, which is just phenomenal. So thank you for that. Why? And there's other festivals out there. There's other ska shows that last 2 days. Oh, go ahead. I'm just wondering, why do you think it's grown so much? Why do you think that people are coming from around the country or from around the world to this?
Yeah, well, I think we started with we like, there's people that are coming that came from the very beginning, and we just been kind of building, and it's like positive word of mouth, and I don't know, the same people have been coming back year after year, and I think for people coming overseas, it's they're flying in from the UK, from Australia, from New Zealand. And I think it's a collection of bands that they're not normally going to see together anywhere, and it's kind of a I know the guy from New Zealand that comes in is he just sees all these, especially American bands that he's not going to see in New Zealand ever, with all the time in the world. So he comes out, and I think everybody else, I think it's just like a family. Like people kind of build their, they start off with like a couple people they know maybe, but now it's these huge groups of people. Like it is like a second family for a lot of people coming in. So I don't know, it's more community than anything. And it's like being at some of these festivals, like I've been at Punk Rock Bowling and Punk in the Park and those kind of things this summer. And, I don't think people are looking out for the fans like very much. Like they're on the parking lot, they're getting baked. There's, $4 waters. And anyway, I think it's just, we're taking like treating people like you should be treated at least.
And and I agree. And I think that as somebody who's been there a few times and they can speak for other people, we love the lineups that you have. But regardless of the lineup that you have, everyone's showing up because it is just it's a family gathering.
Yeah.
Do you is there anything else you think that you've done that the festival's done that has promoted that family gathering compared to
I
besides just
think
the
like
cost of free water? But
well, for me, it's like we take care of the bands pretty well. I mean, they're not getting paid a ton, but we're feeding everybody. They're getting, they're staying for the whole weekend, and it's like a place where people are collaborating. The bands are collaborating. Like we see a lot of tours that take off, and it's like, wait a minute, all those bands they were all at Supernova, or they're, this big show that's coming up. It's like all those, but I heard about that being planned like a year ago. And anyway, it's kind of cool to see that as like an incubator for the scene.
no, it truly is. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's my turn. It's it's great that we're kind of touching upon like how Supernova grew from something small and it's blown up into what it is today. And I'm kind of I'm a newcomer myself. Last year was my first time going to Supernova. So I don't have any exposure to festivals, like the big festivals out there. But from what I've gathered and from what I've learned, like watching the local PBS documentary, the
Oh yeah.
Supernova video, is that there's this feeling of community that you touched upon, but it almost feels like you took something that was like local and then grew it. So, kind of based on that, what advice would you offer others who are trying to grow something locally and trying to help shows grow in their local scene?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's we depended heavily on the local scene, like the East Coast scene for the Virginia DC scene. So I think it's start like with what's in your backyard, like the fans, the bands. We were bringing in, I mean, the snails were coming from Philly, but it was a lot of Eastern Standard Time and the Pie Tasters, and it's the DC, Virginia, Baltimore, Lady Hatchet type band. We were bringing everybody in, and it's a little bit cheaper. Started with that like East Coast scene first before kind of expanding out is what we did. So yeah, I don't know if if that makes sense, but that's kind of how we started, at least, is start local, start with what we could afford. The stages are, not the best, but then we kind of scale up as the thing gets bigger.
Awesome. And just as a follow-up, I'm curious how, from your perspective, how do you think the outreach grew from a little local thing to worldwide?
Yeah, like we took a couple different jumps. Like one was we were having to get this Scooby-Doo little ghost town of a brewery like from 2014, 2015, and the owner passed away. So we took a year off, like obviously because it's like we didn't want to, we wanted to make sure that, we didn't, it was about the same time as our 2016 show would have been. So we took the year off just to figure out what we were going to do after that. And so we ended up going to a fairgrounds, and at that point, like we took a big jump and we brought in bands like the Skints and Derek Morgan and those kind of, so we took a year to kind of think about, what that would look like. We went from the Virginia Ska Fest, and we're thinking about the branding and like what might be a good name, and like what might be a good, how this might look like either a national or an international festival. And so we had a little bit of time to plan it. And Supernova is like it's a play on Nova's Northern Virginia. We were closer to DC before, and we took another in. We ended up moving. We did 2017, 2018 in that format. We took a year or so off with COVID, and we moved down to Hampton, like where at the beach where you came to. We live like a half mile from the festival, so we were anyway looking at what would it look like if we didn't have it at a brewery, if we had our own alcohol and ABC and all these things. And anyway, that was a whole nother different jump too, but kind of managing that to make money off the alcohol and support the festival. So anyway, that and going to bands like Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra and kind of getting to that next level.
Has there ever been a year that you had planned to do it that you were fearful it wasn't going to play out? Have you ever had a year as you were planning that you didn't think it was going to end up happening?
Well, I mean, COVID, yeah, it didn't happen, but
Sure.
like this year is our lineup was completely different when we started from what we ended up with. And it was like the last 6 weeks or so, everything just completely, we had about 7 or 8 bands that shifted around. So we were working on the post, like we were trying to get posters printed and t-shirts printed, and the lineup was in massive flux. And so anyway, last second we were getting all that together. Last possible day we could have got the t-shirts printed, we did, anyway, just trying to switch out all the international bands that couldn't make it because of visa issues. So it happened. It looked a lot different than what it started as this year.
Yeah. And I loved a lot of the bands that ended up coming on though. For myself personally, it is very cool to see legends, and it's very cool to experience bands I will never be able to experience like other than this. But it's also amazing to see bands like Joker's Republic and Killer Diller, who all of a sudden got their chance at like the big time. You know what I mean? Like Joker's Republic playing Supernova and Killer Diller playing these shows is huge for them. So
Yeah,
that's probably
that
some of my favorite things to see is them like performing on that scale.
that was my favorite thing about the Switch was that exact same thing is Colin Austin and Killer Diller and Kay and the Doom Stompers, and anyway getting those bands into the mix. And they would have been there like in a year or two anyway, but like it was great that they jumped in, and they were anyway they fit the bill very nicely, and it just killed it. Like all of them were great.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know, Slow Gherkin, did you see them?
Yep. Oh, that was
I did.
amazing.
They're one of my top three. I'll say that later.
And when did
Yeah.
when was the last time
Same.
they played? That was a reunion, huh?
No, they actually played in
Santa-
they played in
Oh, good.
August in
Oh, they did? Okay.
in Santa Cruz, California. I
They had some years off,
happened to be
though.
there.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
Bragger.
Yeah, we were trying to fill the gaps, and then I was looking online, and somebody was commenting on Slow Gherkin, and it's like, wait a minute, those guys are together again, and saw that they were playing a reunion show, and I called James just anyway, just to see if that might be a possibility. And they jumped on like in a day or two. It was a dream come true.
So good.
That is,
That
that is
was-
amazing.
That was a good play. I appreciate that. I guess on the topic of bands, before everything happens, I'm curious to know, Tim, what your thought process is and like just curating the bands overall. I guess how do you decide upon like a good balance of all the different subgenres? Like Jamaican ska or third wave or rock steady. And I guess connected to that, curious if you could share some insight on like what goes into programming like a single day of the festival.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the mix, like we've got a lot of friends like Matt Flood and Chuck Wren, and we've got some local bands here, the Lions Bridge, that are we talk to all the time, and everybody's got their own interest. Like they like the music, but they've some people like the more rock steady reggae, and some people are into the old school Jamaican ska, and some people are into ska punk. And so I've got like 4 or 5 people calling me and like just kind of getting in my ear, and I want to mix anyway, so I'm trying to find like what that looks like every year. And this year we were trying. We knew that we were going to have these issues. We thought next year. So this year I was trying to get all these bands in that I wanted to see from overseas, and get them in before we started having issues. And anyway, it happened faster than I thought. So that was always try to have that international piece for sure, not just Canadian and Mexican bands, but like bringing in bands from Asia and Europe. So that's and we've got this connection now with Alpha and with Jamaica, and so we're always trying to have at least some of the old school. There's not a lot of the original Jamaican like first wave musicians left, but we did it this year with a couple different like a Lloyd Parks and Errol Dunkley, and the Cables. I don't know if you saw any of that, but just that's and my heart's in third wave and like the Catch-22s. So we always have a good mix of that, I think.
Eric, I'm going to ask the question you're dying to know.
Yeah, me
Whose
too.
idea was it,
Which
Tim,
Eric?
the Catch-22 show with Jeff?
I'm trying to think if it might have been Matt Flood's idea.
Oh,
But it was either my idea or Flood's idea. I can't remember because you know what I do is like look at bands that I need. Like we talked to the drummer from Catch last year at some festival they were at, and they were talking to us about coming to Supernova. Like, yeah, well, like we got you like penciled in for 2025. And anyway, you're always looking at like anniversary albums, so it's like, is there a 20th anniversary, 15th anniversary, 25th anniversary of something coming up? And Alone in the Crowd was the anniversary was coming up. So I'll give Flood credit, but I think it could have been mine too.
Can I interject there and like just gush over the gratitude that I have personally for this? And I'll reach out to Matt as well. Doesn't matter. Like I can't, I know I've reached out to you in April separately and everything. We didn't get to connect at the show because spinning around, whatever.
Great.
But like what you did, making this happen was like it's beyond. It's really like I don't have words. I've spoken to Jess at length. Jamie and I have talked about it. It was a beautiful thing. Like that experience just in general, even just as a patron, like being there, but to have everything around it changed my mind a lot. Like the value that I tied to the stuff that we did 25 years ago, or the lack of value that I tied to it, it changed based on just having this whole experience. So I can't thank you enough. And I will forever thank you and be in debt to you for whatever you need. You need help with anything, you let me know. I'm telling you, like that's how I roll. So thank you.
You don't notice anything. That was amazing. I just watched it today, by the way.
Yeah,
It was phenomenal. It was so good.
thank you.
And
Thank
I
you.
don't know if you've seen we just posted like the ones, like maybe we posted 2 songs now, but
Yeah,
like the first one I posted, it's got at least 50 or 60,000 views on it already. Like that first track we put
crazy,
up.
man. That's crazy. It's unbelievable,
Yeah.
And like look, the second, and I'm sure Jamie could talk, like we look at each other and like we're like, let's go. And no one's leaving anything out there. Like I know it. I've sensed Connor on the side doing his spin thing, which is like gets me going. I feed off of Chris like floating on the drums behind me and it's just like, let's go. And then I looked out and it was like people singing these words that were almost designed to be like, if you learned these words, you studied, like that says like that's the design, like if a lot of it. So it's like wow. And I took it in, and I know everyone, on the stage did at that time, but the whole thing just in general, like the energy was just building and building and building, so yeah.
That's
Hey,
that Saturday was really special too. Like every anyway, that the whole lineup every day, there's like something to love in that lineup, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
hey, Tim, I wanted to say before it gets away, just that how appreciative I was of all the volunteers you had there. There was a lot of people. You were talking about how you take care of the bands and things like that. And I got to say that I don't know how you got such a local scene. It was more than just the music scene. I mean, I know you have to hire security and other things, but everybody working that show was so awesome to work with. They were so cool, so helpful. So I don't know how you get all those volunteers, Tim, that are working everything from backstage to green room to everything out there, but you have an incredible team of people working behind the scenes that makes everybody feel welcome and everybody feels safe. It's like almost like a seamless connection between the bands and the fans and the people work in the back. So I didn't want to miss the opportunity to thank you and make sure that I thanked that amazing staff you have that's working behind the scenes, keeping everything up to date and just helping us find our way around. And then what good would the festival be if the sound wasn't good? And the sound was amazing on every stage. So like, I don't know how you do it, especially with all the bands that were getting, held up in immigration and all that other stuff that was craziness going on. But, thanks a lot. Really do appreciate it. And, things like bringing a show together and saying, oh, it's the anniversary of this album. Well, I haven't seen Jeff in a while. I love Jeff. I haven't seen him since he was a little kid. We were on the road together. And I was like, hey, I wanted to make sure I stuck around long enough to make sure the guys were on their feet. And the new singer got his, he was solid. And then I had to go take care of my own kids because Connor might not be here today had I not. But like I just wanted to thank you because those volunteers were awesome, every single one of them, and all the vendors were great. You provided a place for all that to happen. That community is important. It's very important for us to meet the guys from Jamaica that started all this stuff.
Mhm.
And like those guys are, they're treasures, and for us to all be on the same stage together, I really, really appreciate it. So thanks for somehow, God, I don't know how you did it, but I don't know how, but it's amazing. So I just want to say, especially thanks to all the volunteers out there. That
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
I will second that. A hard second for that. It felt like Disneyland at times, like, or Disney World, where it was like you're just kind of looking around and somebody's like, "You good?" And it's like, well, I don't know how to. There was a time where like I wanted to watch somebody, and I wanted them to be backstage with me, and they were like, "What do you want to get them back here? Like they can come back here." And then we went up, and then the stagehand was helping, watching from the side of the drums. It was just like it was really, you guys
Yeah.
did a good job. Just in general, security guards. My daughter took a picture with Sharon, the security guard, like she connected with her. It was just, everybody was great,
It
Yeah.
was like me and Jeff met outside the hotel the next day, happened to be staying in the same place. His whole family was there, and I ran into Jeff. I was like, well, sometimes it's magic. It's just like you do a million shows, but every now and then, like it's fucking magic, and that's why we do it. We're looking for that lightning in a bottle, and that was a fun show. It felt special. So
Mhm.
thanks for creating that moment.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had the same, like a lot of the volunteer like key positions, like they've been helping us since like the very, very beginning. Like, and so we have like Annie Clemens. She's a three-star Michelin chef that's like working hospitality and making snacks in there for everybody. And anyway, it's just the our our um our sound, and like our sound team has been with us since the very beginning. They scaled up with us. Showtime Sound out of Virginia, or sorry, out of Maryland. They'll get mad at me for saying that, but but anyway, it's yeah, the same people come back every year, and anyway, they have discretion to they kind of know, they can smell when people are like BSing them or not. And anyway, they're pretty chill. And anyway, everybody's super professional, and they all have great day jobs, and everybody's anyway can handle almost any situation. But we hardly, I don't know, with the community we have, we don't really have anything major at all.
This is awesome.
Well, you can say that, but we know that there was some scrambling there as bands couldn't get through immigration. So maybe you
Yeah.
just handle it well.
Yeah.
It could just be that, Tim. Maybe you just
Yeah.
handle it.
My other job is working on hostage issues, so this is like pretty. It's not it is very important, but it's like easier to work with, like
Sounds
schedule
like a
changes and things.
pre-qualification for me. Like that sounds like yep, makes sense now. Got it.
But I think it is everybody's having fun, so it's like not there's no like we try to take out some of the stress out of people's not to put any more pressure on people to like it's not coming from us ever if there's stress at all. And the bands are everybody's coming in cool, like our schedules are on time, the stage is usually on time or ahead of schedule. And anyway, it's all great. We have pros like at every step of the way, I think.
You had mentioned earlier, you were talking about some of the challenges with, obviously not being able to get the international bands in this year because of our government sucks sometimes. But with that, did you, I mean, and it came together very seamlessly. You had bands that took those spots. Do you have, when you do this, do you have kind of, I don't want to say backup bands, but do you have like a plan B line of bands just in case something happens? Because even previous years, I think I can't remember, was it Kill Lincoln got COVID one year, or
yeah, Jared moved in right away. Yeah.
Do you have a list of bands almost ready to go?
Yeah, I've got like on my list at least, I've got these are the for sures, these are the maybes, these are the like and as we get along, I kind of revise that. So I've got kind of it's like I don't know if you've ever seen like the NCAA basketball tournament, but it's like the first four in, last four out, and anyway, and a lot of the bands we know them or we talk to them or we don't give anybody false hope that they're gonna, but it's if we see things like the visas starting to happen, we start talking to bands a little bit earlier, like June, July, or reaching out to people, reaching out to their agents just to see if they might be available, looking at their schedules and seeing where they're, if they're playing, if they're not, so some of these, Slow Gherkin was one that just kind of fell into our lap, but the other ones, we were trying for like trying to get Suicide Machines on the bill and trying to, things like that. And some of these bands they're taking a break after these long tours that they've done over the summer. So we couldn't get them on. But anyway, the Joker's Republics and the Killer Diller and Doom Stompers and trying to think like some of the other like Lloyd Parks and Errol Dunkley, we brought them in last second too. All kind of just worked out for us that way.
Tim, do you have any thoughts as, like we as members of the community, as voting Americans, perhaps, that both attendees and performers can do to kind of help address these visa issues coming up in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen a couple fans like putting out like write letters to your Congress people and your senators and letting them know that this is an issue. I had a talk with Aaron from In Defense of Ska like over the weekend, and just saying it's like all these bands they put in all the paperwork super early, they paid all these fees, they're coming here like the right way that everybody wants, and they're paying money and we're paying money, everybody just loses money when they don't come here. So it's I'd say like it's we probably need to put together a form letter for everybody to send to their Congress people. I've been doing reports for everything for the festival, so it is on my to-do list like in the next week or two. But I think that's the I don't know if that'll make a difference at all where we are right now. I mean, the government's closed completely right now, but
yeah.
But at least put pressure and know what's we're not losing the culture, but we're losing the everybody's losing money. The hotels are losing money. The flights are, everybody's just, it's a money suck on both sides of ours and the international bands.
What are some of the other challenges that you had this year? I mean, that's a big one, but are there other challenges that you face?
I mean, that was the biggest one. Like we had weather like on the like the setup day, which like really delayed like I don't know if anybody went to the pre-party at the Paradise Ocean Club this year.
Yeah.
But we were trying to get that set up and it was supposed to be out on the beach and they couldn't set up the gear because it was supposed to stop raining every hour and it just kept going and we were trying to set up all the sound and lighting at the main festival and all of our tents and anyway it just didn't stop raining all day long. So that it put us behind like 5 or 6 hours at least. But that was our years past. We've had hurricanes off the coast, and it's been like 30-mile-an-hour winds like all weekend. Which this year, thankfully, like we had as close to perfect weather as we could get for the festival itself.
It
was
like
beautiful.
Yeah.
So the Death Tower would have been okay this year, but you didn't have it.
Yeah, we just kept like every year was like so windy and we couldn't put the banners up on that. And anyway, this year we're like, you know what? Like 2 years in a row, we kind of got burned on that.
Yeah, I
So
went up and I came right back down. I was like, hell no.
we I don't know if you saw like last year we had like the Greg Lee banners we put up, but it was only up for like, just to take some pictures and like, but they came right back down because you could feel that thing kind of nudging forward a little bit, even though it weighs like tons. It was still like catching wind on those banners. So anyway, then we were having our like setting that thing up it's just it's a little terrifying. So we did anyway. This year was like let's just skip it. Like there's not a ton of people up there, and maybe we'll do something in the future that'll be cool like that. But anyway, we're taking a break.
That's unfortunate. I was a tower supporter. I liked watching the ships come in and out.
Oh, yeah, they were great views up there, weren't they?
Yes.
So for those of us who love your festival and show up, are buying tickets early, does that help you guys as far as advanced tickets go? Like if people are buying them early on compared to waiting to a couple weeks before the festival?
Yeah, it like early on like always helps. Like that lets us get the bands locked in and at the very end you just don't know like if people are coming in or not and like and it's kind of if we get them early and we know what we have for ticket sales then we can like scale up the bands too. Whereas if people get them at the very last second, it's like,
You don't know what you can afford.
You can't take a risk on some of these bigger bands coming in. Yeah, or like some of these like we've had good years where it's like, we'll add a couple extra bands to the lineup even though we're kind of full, but we'll make the day a little bit more, a little bit bigger. But yeah, if people all wait till the very last second, then it just makes it a little bit harder to plan. And a lot of our deposits we get discounts paying things early, so things like that make it a lot easier.
So just so reiterate and everyone hears us, when people buy tickets early, it also gives you the opportunity to get some bigger bands on the show. That's
Yep.
how we're going to get the two-tone bands and some of the legends because you've had the opportunity to know what you have to kind of work with.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And we've had like some years, like, I'm thinking probably like for 2020, it'll probably be, the economy's kind of tanking a little bit, like people are hurting a little bit more, like it might be a little bit later buy, but yeah, it definitely like 2023, everybody bought early. Like we were able to get like some of those bigger bands locked in, like right from the get-go.
All right. And that was a huge year, or at least I was there in that year, and that was
my first year.
Mine too.
Yeah, it was a great year.
Yeah, that was the Ox Suicide Machines year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, that was like I I think Tokyo Ska Paradise and Suicide Machines, Holly
Oh,
Cookville, all on
and
that Saturday.
Fishbone played that year. That
Fishbone.
was fun. Viva
Yeah.
Blood Skulls. Yeah, it was a good year.
That's great.
All right, so
Yeah.
speaking of years, let's talk about this year. We wanted to collectively talk about everybody's favorite things about this year. I mean, as from an attendee perspective, a performer perspective, and from your perspective as well. And I also want to invite the people who are watching on YouTube to chime in, get in the live chat because we want to share your experiences as well. So we're going to start off by first, I want to know, Tim, how much music did you actually get to catch?
Maybe like an hour tops, like for the weekend.
Were there any
Oh.
sets that you knew you were going to see and you just did it, or did that not work out?
I wanted to see, like, I really wanted to see like Beto and Soundclash. I wanted to see Les and Jake, like Into the Night. And I have to go around and collect. We get like we don't take any money from the bands ever, like for merch, but we do get like money. We get like a 10% from our food trucks that are out there. So at the end of the night, I go around and collect with like a box. And anyway, I'm like trying to make it really quick so I do a round, and then it's like trying to get that back to the building, drop it off, and then come back to anyway see the end of the night. And I have a couple food trucks. I know them. They're all local, so everybody's got stories to tell me, or like anyway, some anecdotal thing that happened at the festival for them. So like it makes it hard to see anything. But luckily, Mike D records everything through the live stream and can come back. And I've been watching it. Like when I'm sitting on the couch downstairs, I just throw it on, like, and watch like from the beginning to end every day.
Oh, no.
And
Speaking of
yeah,
that, I
Mike
think
Day.
so. Mike had my and Christian, I think, and a couple of the others. They were helping or teaching my daughter how to direct. I think she did the Calamatic set. They taught her like, during the toasters, and then I think she was on like the headset and she was calling out, like, all right, camera one, go, or whatever. And it was
oh, cool.
really like one of my favorite memories of the whole thing. That and dancing with her during the pie tasters. But like, yes, I have pictures and stuff, but that was really cool. So I think the Calamatic set, she was like directing.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's amazing.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool. They were awesome. Amazing.
Yeah, I was just up in New Haven, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Like I was up. Mike D was doing. They were doing they have a family foundation, and they work with kids and technology and like streaming, and so they were doing a golf tournament up there. So I was up there to support, and he's been helping us. Like we've been working with Hampton University, like it's an HBCU down like right around the corner from our house, like the first one. And they bring the kids working in audiovisual fields over, and they work with them all weekend and train them up on, like it's a 40, 50-hour crash course of like running events. And anyway, where they work with like all these kids all weekend, and it is really cool.
That's good stuff.
Nice.
All right, we're moving on. I'm going to bring up food trucks first. I'm going out of order because we were just talking about food trucks. What was everyone's favorite food truck? I'll just go in and say that pizza food truck was fucking amazing. Like, great pizza.
Flamin' Pie.
I waited an
Oh,
hour
wait.
for it, but it was worth the hour wait.
I don't even remember eating, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wish I did. I wanted to. I'd have to ask my family. I know they got some food trucks. I just like, I don't even remember. I don't remember eating. I really don't.
I made myself peanut butter and jelly in the green room, but when I
There
went
you
Wait,
go.
you made your own peanut butter and jelly?
I had
Oh.
to because whatever this like Michelin chef is, she did not make me PB&J.
All
But
right,
I did
listen.
find the ice cream truck, and that was good.
So you cut it in half. Is that
Yeah.
what you typically do?
And I spread
Because
the
when
jelly.
you shared that picture, I was like, fuck, I didn't cut his peanut butter and jelly in half.
No, no, you did a great job. But I like the ice cream truck. The
Next
ice cream.
time I'll cut it in half for you, Jamie.
You don't have to do that. I'll cut it in half for you.
So
Yeah, I think the ice cream truck was popular among my friends as well.
Yeah.
The Lumpia King by Gavin, that was my only try. Mainly because I've been so busy, like, dancing, just like running around. I pretty much subsist on snacks, and then, I just eat a big meal like afterwards. So Lumpia King was definitely delicious.
I promised to share some stuff from the live chat, and Sick Boy just said that the hot dog truck made him laugh, cry, and shit his pants.
That was the
Which
one I
one was
wanted
that?
to
The hot
get
dog?
That's
to.
actually valid. That's valid all the way
Oh,
around.
and then he retracted that message. Too late. Sorry.
Maybe
I
a
like
little
I'm
Talking
I'm
closer.
about the
trying to
crab
remember the
cake.
name. It was a plan avocado. What was the name of the
Oh, avocado.
thank you. So I gluten and myself are not good friends. So that one was very good for me with their chicken bowls and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, they catered for the band on Friday night. They like took really good care of us and like took like got meals for all the bands.
awesome.
Which is typically what Feed the Scene does, right? But it was fourth
Yeah.
quarter weekend as well.
Yeah, they usually do like all the coffee and the snacks for all the bands, and like we no normally we would like feed all the band, like we would make the meals ourselves, or we'd have our staff do it. And anyway, we've been like having the local restaurants have been catering lately, like all 3 days for the bands.
Awesome.
Right.
So, yeah, it's great. Like, and usually when festivals like we see Riot Fest and things like when the longer they go, the more they anger their local communities, and we're just the opposite. Like people appreciate it, and anyway, they're like everybody reaches out to see how they can help, and we got more volunteers every year than the year before. And anyway, just getting like the anyway more word of mouth too, where people are starting to recognize it a little bit.
Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a thing now with the ska scene is everyone has come attached to bringing flags with them of their local ska scenes. So, anybody have some of their favorite flags? I'm which I think is one of the OGs. I think Denver was the original ska flag, and then Michigan came along. But I actually like yours, Jess. I think Philly is a really cool looking flag.
I designed it myself.
Ooh, nice.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh,
Well, I
wow.
mean, with
This
Canva,
would be
but
the
whatever.
perfect time for a graphic. This would be the perfect time to put the graphic up.
I
You
mean,
know,
oh, well, damn it, Jamie, I'm not that sophisticated.
somebody
I really like my
here.
SKAgazine flag too.
All right. Well, maybe
Eric,
you can attach it in post
we
production,
will. We'll
even though it's live.
So
we're
I
doing
gave you a
a
call
part
out
two
and then you shared.
episode. I should probably say this now. There is going to be a part two episode. We actually talked to a lot of attendees on our Zoom recorder while we were there. So we're going to share some of their interviews that we did on site and a couple of bands. But I wanted to do an attendee kind of thing this year. So look out for that to come up next. And we'll
Nice.
share some pictures of flags when we do that.
We had that as our cover photo on Facebook, is like all the people with the flags up on the love sign. And
So I was sad
Oh,
that I
really?
missed that because I didn't make it Sunday and I didn't leave the flags behind. So the Philly flag is not in that picture.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I would have
Well,
left it with someone from Philly, but no one told me they were doing it. So I think we should do a flag parade next year. We did that at This Is Not Croydon Fest last year, and that was fun. There's a lot more flags at Supernova, so I think we should definitely do that.
that'd
It'd
be
kind of
fun.
neat to have the flags up at the entrance on the first day, kind of welcoming you in.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Like we can get the little flag holders up there,
I
have
mean,
an honor
somebody
guard.
somebody's saying that their favorite flags are the ones that don't block the view of the stage and the person are on the live stream. So there are some people who are like, get your flags out of my way. So if you're taking a
Yeah,
flag, be decent
I,
about it.
I get some of those messages coming in, but I do like the flags a lot. So
Yeah.
uh, it's hard to like well, not to enforce. It's just hard to. It's like so much energy. Like
Yeah,
you got the
it's like net positive there, right? Like
yeah.
like even seeing it from the stage, there's something about it. It's like, in the pit, like it's going around. There's something about it that's like, defining like how quickly things are moving or whatever. It's very energetic, you know.
My favorite, I think the whole weekend was like right before you guys was Sergeant Skag, and they did like
Oh,
the big blow up like costume like mosh pit, and they had like somebody in a Maine lobster outfit like with the Maine
so cool.
flag and just bouncing out there and waving the flag. It was
Yeah. We didn't get to, I didn't get to watch that. I think I was like stretching out at that time, but I like saw it and it looked different. I heard that was going to happen. I think didn't Ox have one? Wasn't Ox like in?
He was like a toilet that was shitting or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
actually
yeah,
had that on the outline. We wanted to know what everyone's favorite inflatable was.
that was really
that
cool.
was mine. No, he wins my favorite inflatable.
I have to take that one too because it was different.
Yeah, most original for sure.
Yeah.
I love the one that looked
Kinda
like it was.
gross.
I love the one that looked like it was a clown doing a handstand.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was really cool to see our friend Matt dressed as a flamingo. That was fun. And we got to help him put it on, and that was even funner. He was like laying on the ground. I got pictures of it, and it's a fucking riot with him trying to get this inflatable costume on.
I just loved how happy everybody was. Like everybody's putting on their inflatables and like the smiles, and like you could see inside like the T-Rexes, and like everybody was just like at the happiest point in their lives because they were doing a circle pit and inflatables.
And none of us wore one, not one of us.
Right before the sprint or Sergeant Skag was the cables, and those guys are like from like 1962 to 1968, and like they're up there like doing these 3-part harmonies and everything, and there's a giant hammerhead shark in the field anyway in the camera view. And those guys are like, what the hell is this? I can't figure it out. Like, what's going on? Like, what
And
is Scott?
that was Sergeant Skag. They sort of pushed for that, right? That was their idea.
No, that was Joel from Michigan Skull's idea. Shout out to Joel.
Oh.
Joel. But they loved it and they were like in on it because Sergeant Skag always does like their fun inflatable thing. And
I was gonna say they always have such great ideas. Yeah.
At the after party, I watched somebody crowd surfing on a pizza slice and he just went down.
That's amazing.
I took up some of the pizza slices back to Mike, like in the back of the car.
So does anybody have any sets that they regret missing?
Yes.
I don't think
All day Sunday.
All day Sunday for you. I think I was glued to it. I don't think I missed anything. I didn't get the merch.
For me, it was Ocho Calacas for real. Like I really wanted to see them.
Oh.
Yeah, that is the same
could be
for
one of
me.
my favorite sets, actually.
I didn't get to see it. I wish I saw it. I heard it going on, and actually a buddy of mine who he's like he was trying to figure out what his favorite style of ska is. He's like, I don't like anything circusy. I don't like, and then they played and he was like, that's my favorite.
That ska amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, God, they were so good. Really entertaining. Then I saw the videos and I was like, man, I'm bummed that I missed seeing it, but I heard it,
Yeah, I had the same experience with Hey Smith from last year. Like I did not hear enough about them. But when I watched the live stream, I was like, oh my gosh, I missed this. For this year's, I'm on the Ocho Calacas train, and I definitely was thinking about picking up the live stream just to check them out. And I was wondering, Tim, could you help us out with some information on something called Veeps?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Veeps, I need to talk to them this week. We were supposed to all connect last week, and our contact there had a death in the family. So we were kind of anyway, we're trying to get like a cheaper, like a $5 or $10 like weekend pass where everybody can just go back and watch it for a few weeks, especially people that have already been to the festival.
Yeah, I bought I paid $30 for the weekend and then I went to watch it Monday and it said it was expired. I was like, really? I only watched one set on there Sunday.
Did they give you any kind of code or anything? Because mine, like, I've got a code, but like I have to keep putting it in like every few days because it
maybe
expires.
that's it. I'll have to check that.
Try it. I was asking the same question of them because it might be the same process because they gave me a promo code for it, and it's like, all right, it works on the weekend pass, but then I have to go back and anyway, I have to enter it like every 2 or 3 days to get it to come back on. It says expired on it.
Oh, I'll check that out. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that information. I will definitely be checking out Ocho Calacas on Veeps. But on a similar topic, what we're to the group, what band did you discover that you didn't have your focus on previously? I'll just toss in there, Joker's Republic was mentioned, and that was a great last minute ad. I'd only started listening to them like the week before Supernova, and just catching their set just blew me away.
I was so happy for them. They're just great people, and I really feel they're so underrated. So it was great to see them get that shot.
Yeah, I would have said them, but you guys gave me a heads up on them prior to, so it wasn't like discovered, you know.
Yeah, I think by the time I get to this stage, I've listened to everybody so many times, and no, but the Doomstoppers, like they're one that
Oh,
they've
so
only got
good.
a few songs online, and I've heard a lot of people saying how great they were live, and they would hear some of the new songs, and they did a song with the Chains that couldn't make it from Denmark, so that was one I was excited to see.
That was one of the best moments of the festival right there.
Awesome.
Amen.
I'm going to plug that. I'm going to plug two things. One, we are doing an interview with the Chains on Sunday, October 12th. It'll be published that week. And two, the Doomstompers are playing a show that I'm hosting here on October 12th in Philly. And I'm really excited about that with Lady Hatchet and a Philly band called Funk Sway.
I
So
just
if
saw
you're in
that
the Philly
today. Like,
area, get
yeah,
out. The Doomstompers are just amazing. I've had the chance
yeah.
to see them, I think, 3 or 4 times live so far. And every time they just step it up. And seeing Kay do her thing with Kill Lincoln, Jeff, how awesome was that?
That was amazing.
Oh my
Yeah. Yeah,
goodness.
I got video of that. I think I sent it to her.
Yeah.
But it was so good. I love her energy and like just their whole sound, everything about them, you
Uh-huh.
know, really. It's like for me,
Yeah.
one of the most perfect sounds. It's got that kind of like rock steady, but with a little bit of like an edge, but it's I don't know, it's like sweet and hard, it's really good. Yeah.
I think one of the things I love most about the Doomstomper side is like for the first three songs, after every song, Kay was just so giddy. He was
Hmm.
like, "Oh my
Oh,
gosh, thank you." This is
no,
like
I
a
talked to somebody about this, like an attendee when I interviewed them, like, and then Kay walked up, so I had to get her on it too. And just the fact that she's so appreciative and like really doesn't take any of this for granted, that makes you want to love her even more, right?
absolutely.
She
So,
was also running our social media all weekend on top of everything
I
else.
know.
oh, you say Slow Gherkin was mine. I had apparently been underneath a rock. I did not really listen to them before. And then to see them live, like they perform perfectly for a band that like does not obviously had not played together much recently. Like their execution and what they did was flawless. And the
Yeah,
fact
that horn section was incredible. Yeah. I'm sorry.
and then my girlfriend pointed out, she's like, if you watch them, it is literally just like it looks like a bunch of dads who got together and like just came into a ska band today, and like it's amazing, and that is so true.
Yeah, they were awesome.
That
Eric
was
introduced me to them at the after party Friday night. Was it Friday night? Yeah.
It was, yeah.
And we talked for like almost an hour, I think. They were the coolest people.
Yeah, I had the same experience, and it just amazed me how, uh, yeah, just how the whole community element kind of came together to the point where like these guys were just hanging out at a show, as it was Supernova, right? But it's like we're just kind of buddies, just hanging out, even after having just met like
And that's with a
earlier
lot of
that
bands
day.
in the ska community, for sure. Just they haven't been around in so long, so it was just a bit strange.
Yeah, I think like on that one, I called them and like it all came together like in a day, but they called Dan P from MU330. They're all from Santa Cruz, and was like, "What do you know about this Supernova thing?" And he's like, "Oh, you gotta go," So they anyway just took a chance on us, even though they weren't really they haven't been in the ska scene for a long time. And anyway, jump back into it. It was, yeah, like I said, it was a perfect set for us too. Like I've watched that at least 6 or 7 times, start to finish.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that set. Who hasn't answered yet? Jamie?
What is it?
Come
Oh,
on.
Well, for me, some of it was watching Connor because Connor's a huge fan of some of these bands that have been
Oh,
around.
he was really excited to see the Flatliners, I remember.
Yeah, really excited to see them, and he's talking. He was backstage talking to all those guys, and so it was fun for me to see Connor kind of just making the scene and hanging out. I was kind of living very vicariously through him. So it was enough for me.
Nice.
I thought it was cool that so Spring Heel Jack was probably like one of the first bands, definitely like back in the day at some of
Right.
the shows, those moon shows like in New York City at the Wetlands. And
Right. Yeah,
like,
early wetland shows like
yeah, and I
it was
definitely I
weird.
saw them so many times. They were one of my first like favorite bands, and haven't seen them in years. And I got to see them twice, like the after party, and then the next day they killed it, man. They were fantastic. So that was really, for me personally, really cool to see. It was just like, here we are. We're back. A lot of those bands were like that.
That was when I was up in New Haven on Monday afternoon, and I was at the Mike's Celebrity Golf Tournament thing, or it's his foundation's golf tournament, and Mike happened to be there. I didn't know he was there all day. He was out golfing. I don't golf. I was just around, but anyway, it's like we connected, and then we went down and had a whole bunch of beers that night at the bar down the hill. But I was telling him the same thing as like all those old shows in like 97, 98, like all that
Yeah.
energy that they played with, and
Oh,
yeah, they were one of my first love in the ska scene for sure.
they were just a little different, right? Back
Yeah.
then, they kind of pushed things a little bit forward, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah, they
just
were so good. Yeah, I mean,
really.
they were good at the show too, but like back in the day, they were
Mhm.
yeah, they were definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, they were all the bands that uh, took it to a new place and really started a whole new fan base. The end of the 90s into 2000, all those underage shows and all the shows up and down the East Coast through New York and Connecticut and Jersey. Like that was a crazy scene. And it really built a huge following. So I'm indebted to all those bands. It was so good to see them all in the same place. So amazing.
You
Thanks.
mentioned Jersey and Connecticut, so we have to ask, what team was everyone on? I know Jamie, what team you were on, and Jeff, because
You
you're
don't
from
know what
Jersey.
team you don't know what team I was
Yeah,
on.
you were on Team Jersey.
I was
I
I don't I gotta tell you, like, you guys made that up yourself. I wasn't on any team. I'm in the music scene. We're all on the same team. I ain't buying into that crap. That's all you guys. I don't care. Like, I love those guys. They're all good.
I didn't
Eric,
have
But you had that made up thing. So you guys can all pick a team, but I'm out.
I, I was indifferent until Hub City came on and really played it up, and then I was like, yeah, I'm team them. I'm team
that was
Jersey
so
now
much
because
fun. That
they
was
were
like
they were
one
the
of the
band who
funnest
really
sets I've
hammed it
ever
up, and
seen
like
from them.
That's so cool. So truthfully, I knew Hub City Stompers, but I didn't know that was Travis
Oh,
from Inspector 7 until then, which is wild because, like, again, just throwing it back, my first band's first show was the Pilfers' first show, actually, and we played, I believe, with Inspector 7. We talked about it, and it was at like a high school. But yeah, like there was like I had no idea that that was part of Inspector 7. It was pretty cool to see it. It made sense then. I was like, I get it now.
and Jay
Yeah,
Boxcar was on the drums, so that was
yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't
Started
realize
talking.
that.
Hmm?
I did not realize that. He was on.
Yes,
I did
drums
not
that night.
realize
Was
that.
he on the drums
Oh,
Saturday too, or just
man.
Friday night? I don't know. He was.
Ugh, I missed that.
So cool.
Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
You want to ask us about some of our favorite sets?
Jesus Christ, Eric. You and this damn outline. What were some of
Really?
your favorite sets, everybody? Top 3.
Hmm.
Can you put a number on favorites?
What
And
do you
people
mean?
just say what their favorites were. Why does it have to be 3? That's a lot of pressure.
Okay, well, you want to name
What were
8?
what were some of your favorite sets?
Me?
Yeah.
Well,
Alone
the
in the Crowd.
Catch-22 set,
Yeah.
obviously. The Doom Stompers.
Yep.
Slow Gherkin, I talked about that already. And Voodoo Glow Skulls. They're my top 4. How's that sound?
All right.
Above and beyond.
If I was gonna do 4,
Eric has 8.
I like. Can I just say all of them?
I mean, in all fairness, I wasn't there Sunday, so
No.
it's easier
So-
for me to pick than you.
Root Girl Review is always one of my favorites. There is like to get that much talent and that much energy on that stage is just it's amazing. It's literally breathtaking every single time. And I feel like every time I see them, they get that much more amazing. So I love that one.
And there's always different people on the stage with them too. You have to point that out.
What'd you say?
There's always different people on the stage with them. Like Tony from the Abrupters got to join them for the first time ever, and she was really, really happy about that.
Kara from Killer Diller got to
Uh-huh.
join them.
Kay was up there from the Doom Stompers. Like it's always different. It's never the same. And I wasn't there to say it, but whatever.
And Catch-22 did a set that I thought was phenomenal. That was probably one of my
Really?
favorites. They brought back this dude who used to sing for them named Jeff. And
You're just
I watched him do aerobics before he
shouldn't
went
have
on.
joined in this segment.
It's very good.
I thought I was gonna be performing CPR on that stage. I was just,
It's a lot more than just CPR that could have happened there in that set.
I was
Like,
fully
we need to-
used.
The amount of thing I told, like, look, I felt people gasp that I knew, like during that, like, oh, what's he doing, right? The amount of things that could have gone wrong, right? Like, and they didn't. That's supernova magic right there.
There you go.
The fact that it didn't, other than right off the bat, right? Caught flip-flop underneath the cord, then hit Jamie's mic stand, probably banging the mouth. Other than that, like
The
nothing.
fact that Kevin didn't pass a goalstone.
Yeah, that too. I mean, like,
The fact that he
talk
didn't
about a
pass
story.
that kidney stone right there on stage.
Oh,
Oh my
He
God,
made 2 out of 3 shows waiting for
Yeah.
that stone to pass.
wild.
Ugh.
Jamie, I've seen you play a lot of shows. I don't think I've ever seen you have that much fucking fun, honestly.
Well, I
You had a
always
blast
have
that day.
fun. No matter how nervous I am before a show, and I still get nervous at every show. As soon as I get up there, I'm like, oh yeah, this fucking thing. I love that. It's so much fun.
I love truthfully, like looking at Jamie. Like I mean, everybody like, but Jamie and I like have this weird thing. It's like, I don't know what it is. Is it a paternal thing? Like, I know when I screw up, like I think I like, my voice cracked because I lost my voice a little bit the night before. At the after party, I was just like, singing and talking and whatever. And I was like, oh no, this could be a problem. And it just kind of like cracked, whatever. I know I can look back right at Jamie and he's laughing, right? Like, and anytime I'm running out of breath, he's laughing. I just love that. It's like it kind of it's like a little bit of comic relief when I start taking myself a little too seriously. It's a lot of fun, and I mean I feed off of like everyone in the band, but there's something that Jamie and I like that's funny, right? Like a little bit of laughter. So.
Yeah, I feel it. Like I'm up there. I'm like, yeah, this guy, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint, buddy. Slow down a little bit. We got to make it to the end. You're not 20 anymore.
I don't understand that. One speed.
There's a lot of comments in the chat about the catch set right now. Jeff from Friends with Salad says that it wasn't only his favorite set of the festival, but one of his favorite sets of the past 25 years.
Oh,
I have to agree with him on that.
I
That's
did
awesome.
not pay him to say that. I promise you. But
Wait, you're paying people now?
If you trace
I
that
for free.
text back, that's actually Jeff's mom. So
Yeah, right. I will say that Jeff from Friends with Salad is one of my favorite people in the world, not just because his name is Jeff. Like you always get a pass with that, but You got to watch out for them. I'm telling you, he writes some killer tunes. I've been collaborating with him now. I think it's like our year anniversary coming up soon. We got to talk about it, but like we've been
Oh,
writing together. Like he is like the yin to my yang, and like everything that I can't do, he like helps with. He's just been amazing, and you guys have to keep your eye out for their EP that's coming out. Friends with Salad. They're out of Oregon, and Jeff is the nicest person in the world, and his name's Jeff. So. Um, Yeah, we actually have a little project called Jeff, and we're recruiting any other Jeffs that want to get in, and we'll just keep adding the
Eric,
name.
do you want to change your name to Jeff?
There you go, Eric. You
I'm
can
thinking
change
about it.
that.
I'm thinking,
No,
I mean,
Eric, we need to do an Eric project now.
There
Oh
you
shit,
go.
Eric.
And
I
then we'll
like
have
it.
and then we'll have a battle. The Eric.
this is the Eric
Yes.
project.
Instead of New
This
Jersey,
is
Connecticut,
it.
it's the Jeff Eric fight.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Game on.
Not
I
a
got
bad
Jeff
idea.
Cohen in my corner, so
You got that, Tim? You writing this down?
Yeah.
You're next.
There are a bunch of other people in the chat though talking about that catch set, and actually one person who had to name his top 3 sets said catch 22, catch 22, catch 22. It meant that much to people, as I'm sure you already know.
means a lot to us for sure. I mean, I've said it many times. I was like, you never know when these things like aren't going to happen again, right? Like, and this was so special, right? Like you just never know. And I was taking it every moment. I figured out how to slow down time. And I remember, I haven't watched it yet, but when I watched the bit, I told like my wife, we go through it, I could do like Mystery Science Theater and tell you what I was thinking at every moment. I remember like I was like, just do it. And I promise you, like it worked and it did not lie. Like it did not. I scanned the crowd. I saw faces. I then like reached out to people afterwards. I was like, I remember you, like, and thanked him. But that set, it was special. And I walked away. And I remember I was walking, and my son and my daughter were with me behind me, and I was like in my own head and walking away. And I just looked back at that. I was like, yeah, no, I don't regret a thing. Like I didn't want to walk away and say, I wish I did that. I wish I did that. I wish this happened. I wish we did this. I didn't regret it like a thing. So it was special. And it's amazing to be up there with those dudes again. I really can't thank everybody enough. So
I'm glad that your kids got to see it because
Mm.
I know when I started doing this thing, my kids were little, they couldn't go to shows, and I ended up leaving to take care of my kids. I couldn't be on the road that many days. But so later in life, I played a show with Catch, at Starland Ballroom, and my youngest son, who was 16 at the time, got to actually go see it. And I never thought in a million years he'd get to see a show. I've been doing this forever, but I hadn't been doing it for a while. So it's really special when your kids actually get to see, they hear the stories, right? But then they're at a show, and that was a big show for them to see you up there. And so I'm so glad for you that your kids got a chance and you got to share, like, yeah, when dad's talking about this thing, this is what it was. Now you actually get to see it firsthand.
And we talked about that. We talked about that, like, afterwards we're saying like, it's like, there's something, it's very rare to be able to talk about it, but to show them is a different,
Jeff, I
like
remember when you were in the Derringers. I mean, I remember playing
Yeah.
shows with you at the Cove or the
younger than my oldest son, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you were
yeah.
a kid. Like I remember all you guys. I still have your tape, the Derringers tape, right? So like the fact that you do that as a kid, and then I'm not going to say you're an adult, but you had kids and you got a job, and the fact that they get to see it is amazing.
Cool.
I'm so happy for you.
What about you playing with, like, your son is next to you, like on the stage?
That's fucking surreal. I can't
come on.
I can't even put it into words.
Yeah.
The fact that I get to share this thing with my kid, and that he's there, and that he's, I can't even, it's a whole nother level. I don't even know how to discuss it. I don't have words for it. It's just, I feel grateful. I feel fortunate and grateful. And like you, my regrets, I don't have any regrets about that weekend or that show or that moment. Sometimes it's magic. I do have regrets in life, but that ain't one of them.
Mhm.
So It's fun.
Right on.
Good
Yeah.
times. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah. You facilitated a lot. Like really, because I went through a thing through this. Like I know it sounds weird, but I was in my own head for so many years, like so many years. And one thing that I actually like started writing in just like a journal, just like things like takeaway, like things that I learned, like at Supernova, like no shit. Like and like one of them was like, you're your own worst enemy. And what's in your head is always worse because the people and the community that you talked about, it's real. And I felt it walking in, like before anything, you just feel it. There's something there and it's special. But I was different before Supernova. And I know that's dramatic, but if I did an interview with these fools beforehand,
Fools.
I've changed my outlook on things based on my experience at Supernova and just like whether it's confirmation or justifying, I don't know, like this all started out as me saying, who cares about this album, right? That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Genuinely. I was like, do people really? Like, what? And, Kevin was like, people, it's like, it's aging well. People care and people want to hear it. We did something special. I didn't believe that. And it culminated there. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I lost a lot of time. I lost a lot of time, and I'm like now planning differently. If that makes sense. So I've come out of it different for sure.
I mean, I think you saw it as soon as we announced it too, like that you were coming back to sing that song, sing the album with, and people were like, "Oh man, that's
Yep.
really cool. I'm gonna have to like think about coming in. I live
Yeah.
a long way away, but I'm gonna fly in for this, I think."
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, true. And I've said, and like the negatives that have always outweighed the positives in my mind. It was just, I don't know, it's just always how it's been. I'm like weak like that, but I'm different now because this was real and like like supporters and I don't know, like to hear to hear some of the stories that some of these people told me about how this album, touched them. I listened to it differently. Like I did, I swear. I like and sang these songs and like I was feeling it differently than I did when we were younger. And I sort of had like revisionist history a little bit over like what were these songs about, and revisited them and fell in love with them like again in a weird way. But it's all based on the things people were telling me. So like again, feeding off of their energy in the community and like the connections. And I mean, not for nothing, like even working with you guys like Jamie and then like I remember Ryan was saying like, just talking about the horn lines, from the album or saying yeah that they started closing with it takes some time, right? Like you guys started closing with that, and I was like, man, that makes sense. He's like that horn line at the end, like I'm like, no, you're right. And I felt it differently after here. I just needed to hear things like other people say it, and whether they were on stage with me, or at a rehearsal or in the crowd, it just like made me re-listen with like brand new ears. So it was kind of cool, you know? Yeah.
No, that's amazing, Jeff. Yeah, thanks for sharing all that. Like we knew it was going to be a good idea. We didn't know it was going to be that great. So
Me
appreciate you
neither.
jumping in there with both feet and
Yeah.
yeah, sorry about your toes, but
Yeah. Those are fine. It was the Achilles that I was worried about. I've been, oh man, that was the first time I think I jumped in like 6 months. I've been like rehabbing my Achilles. And I did it once and I was like, yep, we're good. Let's go. I mean, I was doing it prior to like down on the side of the stage, just making sure that we're good to go. But God,
The,
like I said,
the good thing is the city sent in this whole EMT team with like an ambulance crew because they thought not it wasn't for you guys, it was still there, but it was for the Sergeant Cagnetti, the blow up animal like mosh
oh,
pit.
really?
They were thinking there
Oh,
was going to be a lot of heat stroke. They were going to have to evacuate people, yeah, but they were
oh,
yeah
really?
they didn't really have anything else going on, so they're like, we'll just have it there if you guys need it. So if you would have torn your Achilles, you would have been in good hands.
Yeah. it's funny because like saw like inflatables bouncing around during the set, and I was like, I could get on one of those. Like that's it. I was like, but I don't, I don't weigh 185 pounds anymore, and like people out there are a little older than they were back in the day. So, but yeah, it's funny.
So I think we covered this, but does anybody have any other highlights or memories that made this year stand out to them?
I want to thank Tim or Matt Flood or whoever the hell it was that put this together. I'm going to message Flood later. Honestly, if this didn't happen, I wouldn't have found Jeff, and he and I have become good friends, and I really appreciate it. Like, he's been a big supporter of SKAgazine and just really great to us. And that wouldn't have happened without any of this. So, putting that out there. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I met a lot of people. I'm not downplaying that. Jess and I definitely have, we've connected, and she's, kind of reintroducing me to like, some of the stuff that's coming out because I ducked out for so long. But um, a lot of people, just fans, and I've invited them to send me their music and like let's collaborate. Like just it's met a lot of people. It's a real community that I think only strengthened after that weekend for sure. No. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the coattails on your point, Jeff, there that
Go for it.
I really enjoy the sense of community that I've grown into. I was kind of dragged into this last
Ted.
year.
Talk about Ted.
My good buddy Ted been trying to get me to go to Supernova for well over 5 years or so. Finally bit last year, and I was caught hook, line, and sinker. But Ted definitely the reason I'm here. But this year, I actually flew up to Boston and road tripped with him, and got to join his New Jersey ska crew on the way down. But on top of that, just top of hanging out with them all weekend. I spent so much time just kind of running around. There was so many people that I met, so many bands I met, and people in the community that I met online just over the
Ted's
past year
watching, by the way.
alone.
So you know, Ted
I
is not
know.
a podcast guy, but he is watching.
Yes, I asked him to. But yeah, just the amount of connections that I've made over the past year, and I was running around finding everyone, and I'm a total introvert, so this is like been amazing period of discovery for me, and
Seriously,
I've
Eric, even meeting
totally
you,
loved it.
we've been talking for years, but we never met in person until this year. And I know we didn't see each other very much there because, you're all over the place, but it was great to actually meet you in person.
Same, absolutely. All right,
Eric,
anyone else have any other personal highlights or memories to share? All right, I guess we'll start talking about next year. Tim, any plans in the works for next year? Got any dates that'll be announced soon, or any announcements on early bird tickets, or maybe some hints on the lineup in progress?
I would say keep your eyes open, like in the next, not too far from today, for dates. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we've for lineup, we've been working, like talking with some really big bands, and not real big fish or anything like that, but like other bands that we've been working on for a couple years and trying to get some things back together. And we didn't quite get a couple of them done last year for this year, but I think we're gonna have some big announcements, probably in the like late in the year, early new year. But some of people's, hopefully some of their favorite bands will be playing this year. Like we're trying for a little bit bigger headliners coming up.
Less than Jake wasn't big enough.
No,
Okay.
they're big enough for us, but
Yeah, I forgot to mention that set. That was really fun.
they were great. Oh my gosh, they were such nice guys too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're it's all a work in progress. Like we're just digging out right now of this year, but yeah, we're working on next year. We're working on the lineup, and yeah, just everybody keep their eyes open. Like things will be rolling pretty soon, I think.
So, Tim, do you have a bucket list band that over the years you've always wanted to bring on? Not trying to spoil in case they're coming on this year, but just in general, is there one of those bands that you're like, man, I really wish insert band name could do?
Yeah, I can't say what it is though, because it might happen this year.
Oh, nice.
You know what it was though? Like before it was Slow Gherkin was definitely one. Like I know a lot of people hadn't, I mean, people have heard of them, but there's some people that weren't following them that discovered them for the first time, which is great because I've loved that band forever. But Les and Jake they were one I've been asking for years, and we finally got them. The dates worked out for them. And Bedouin Soundclash was another one that I loved that band for 20 years, and we've tried to get them in the past, and they were on tour with Frank Turner or other things, and we finally made it all happen this year.
Very awesome.
I think Voodoo Glow Skulls with Frank too was another good one. Like having that all back together, that like clicks so well on Friday night.
So is there so for those who are attending, is there any like feedback or any suggestions for future supernovas? Like for myself, like coming and showing up not to kiss up to you, but I just enjoy myself. Like even on the survey I did when it's like one suggestion, I'm like, I'm just having a good time. Everything's like beautiful to me. So I don't have any suggestions for you, Tim, but anyone else have constructive
one.
suggestions?
Just one.
Well, all right, go for it, Jess.
Someone to catch the damn crowd surfers, please.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I had to stop box. I'm like, no more. There's nobody catching anyone. You're not going up anymore.
What was it, Jess? I'm sorry, I lost you on that part.
Somebody to catch the crowd surfers.
Oh yeah. So
especially during like a less than Jake type set,
So with that, we had like one security issue all weekend, and that was like the moment that like in the middle of their set was like when that happened.
Of course.
And they like pivoted out of there, and it's like, and they were all over the boardwalk on this issue, and it's like people were radioing in. I'm like, what the, like everybody just left to go. Like it's minor, but you've got like all your securities here, like go, So anyway, I ran back and like was getting the security back to the stage, and anyway,
people made it out there, but
yeah, that for sure. That was a dangerous time. Like there was like a 25 minute gap there where if somebody would have gone over the rail or something,
they did, and they would just hit the floor, and then. But I mean, they all
Thankfully,
got up and ran back
I
around.
did watch somebody get dropped during the catch set. I was actually like recording the crowd, and I was like, shit, I'm going away from that. He just got dropped. But it wasn't at the rail. It was like in the middle of the crowd. They just weren't holding him up.
Yeah, that's their fault.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Mind you, it was not a child. It was a bigger man, but
It wasn't.
Jess, I think we missed your question. Who's everyone else's?
Who does everybody want to see next year?
Yeah,
my number one pick is the Boy Detective.
I could second that.
No doubt, need to see the Boy Detective there.
They had a wedding this year. They would have been there this year without. They had a wedding.
I know.
Going on.
Yeah, Chris heard.
They're so amazing. Their live set is like unmatched. The energy is incredible.
So I love them, and I am from Detroit, and I've seen them many times, and know them. And they're very dear to my hearts, and I would agree. But I'm also going to throw Girth Control in there. I would love to see Girth Control.
I love it.
I think they would be a fun addition.
That would be so awesome. Somebody in the chat is asking for 4 full days. I don't know if we can handle that, but
Jess, I think you know how I'm going to answer this question.
Yeah, I know exactly how you're going to answer. It's why I didn't say them, because you got
voluntary hazing from San Jose, California.
Did you give Tim a sticker while you were there this year?
I sure did.
I saw it today, actually.
Yeah, I do believe they're super creative and talented performers. They did open for Slow Gherkin at their show in Santa Cruz, and they just got announced for Dollfest happening in Oakland next March. So yeah, they are on the rise in 2026. So better look out for them.
They're really awesome. I love them so much. Some of the people in the chat are saying Tip the Van reunion. I'm not familiar with Tip the Van. I'm not.
I'm down with
Okay.
Tip the Van.
I hear some assorted jelly beans. I would like that. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That's it. How about Jamie and Jeff? What do you think?
Maybe a catch-22
Get
set.
Common Rider. Get Common Rider.
Oh, good
That out.
show.
Jesse was just in the city. I don't know. Get Common Rider. That would be sick. I feel like that's like a 25th anniversary coming up. I don't know.
All right, yeah.
Around there.
Jamie.
Oh, I'm going to remain silent on this one. I think Tim does a great job finding bands. I don't think he needs my help. He's doing all right.
What would you say?
I said, I think you're doing a good job on this. I don't think you need my help in picking these
Oh no,
bands.
like if you were to throw one out, what would you say? Like what do you want to see?
You can be forced in.
Oh,
I mean, you don't have to.
I always throw my friends out there like the best of the worst. It's never
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
it's always a band who I'm friends with who I'm like, yeah, throw them up there. I'd like to see
After Party would be
I was
good.
just gonna say that, Jeff. You took it from me.
Hey, we'll make the scene if we're called.
The World's After Party is amazing. We'll talk about them later, but
So good.
check them out, Tim.
We'll do. Yeah.
What else we got? We got Bruce Lee Band in the chat.
We ask Mike every year. He
Yeah.
doesn't like to travel. Yeah, like we'd love.
He doesn't like to fly or something, right?
Yeah.
Would be a good way to celebrate the Asian Man Records 30th anniversary next year.
Ooh, you put that up there.
Good call out there, Eric.
Yep.
Then you swing by, you get them and bring them, Eric.
Hey, what about the Porkers? Have they ever played?
They've been out. Like Pete's been out like several times, but they haven't played the festival yet. They're great. I love that band.
God, yeah.
Well, Tim, I know you got to drop. Is there anything you want to add to help with next year? What can people do?
No, I mean this year, like we were worried that with the lineup changes and everything, people would be, upset about it or something. Anyway, I think
Did a great job.
Everybody came so happy, and it was like everything was so smooth as things can get for a festival like that. So anyway, would just thank everybody for coming this year and all the support, and yeah, just keep an eye out for next steps. But I think we've, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I think we got some big plans. And anyway, hopefully, if we can land 2 or 3 of the things we're trying for at the top, I think people are going to be really happy.
Nice.
But yeah, but great seeing everybody. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. Come on,
Thank
Tim.
you.
We'll do it again when you announce the lineup. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you for joining
All
us.
right.
I know, Eric, you got to drop too.
Bye, Tim.
Eric A has to drop.
I don't have to drop. Why did
No,
you say
Eric
I have to
A
drop?
has to drop. Thank you
Hey,
so
there's
much
only
for
gonna be one Eric left. I'll make it easier.
The way it started.
You're leaving early on the audition, damn it.
Remember this.
Hope I did well.
You did great.
All right.
You did great. We'll have you back Monday for Ocho Calacas, okay?
All righty. Take care, everyone.
Talk soon. Thank you.
So as everyone's leaving, we have to check. We have to see if Matt Ball's in the chat to see if Matt
Matt
Ball.
Ball in the chat. I haven't. Wait, do you know his username?
That was the one. Is we got to check, make sure Matt Ball didn't leave. We're not moving forward if he left.
Oh, whoever pork chop and the peanut butter swirl is, I like them.
Oh wait, pork chop.
Yeah, who is that?
Oh, it's pork chop. I met at the show. He was one of the guys. So I saw him singing, and was feeding off that, and then he was walking around, and I don't know. He like stopped, and I was talking to someone, and he stopped, and I saw him, and I was like, I remember you. Like you were singing every freaking word to that song or to the set, like everything. And walked up to him. We had a moment, and I remember. Like I think my buddy even took a picture of us talking because I was like that guy over there saying every word, and so I sent him that picture. We connected, and it turns out he's a musician and makes amazing music. And he sent me some of his stuff, and like hopefully, I don't know, like I think there's, God, he's got a lot of cool stuff. So, yeah, hopefully we can do something together. But that's I think a new friend, really, from this one of those things. Yeah.
So I knew who Matt Ball is now, and he was the one that shit his pants.
Oh man, of course it was. And then he had to
Sorry,
leave.
Matt.
So that's funny.
I think he was the one that said that.
He's
Sick
sick
boy.
boy.
Was it sick
Sick
boy?
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
sick.
hope he did, because otherwise it'd be really weird to get mistaken for the person who shit your pants.
That's
Right?
funny. I wonder
Only
if
I would do something like that, though.
It is a
Anyway.
festival. That doesn't really narrow it down. That act doesn't totally narrow it down. It could have been anyone.
uh,
That hot dog truck was kind of shady. I'm not gonna lie.
But they were very nice.
He said that's why I had to go, Jeff.
that's why he had to go.
I had to go. All right. So you wanted
Oh,
to make
yes.
sure he was here, what, to hear your song?
What's
You want
that?
you wanted to make sure he was here to hear the song?
No,
Matt
just
Ball?
because
Oh,
just because he always leaves.
oh.
No,
Well,
that's
he's still here.
yeah, no, it's just a joke. That was in the
Yeah.
Bloomfield Avenue that I mentioned him, and he says to stop pushing, um, his name and stop whatever. But anyway, it's just a joke.
Okay.
Speaking of new songs, Jess,
Speaking of new songs.
anyone have any new songs?
So what was that?
Does anybody in these four squares have a new song that we could talk about?
I think so. I think Jamie has a lot of new songs too, but we'll talk
Oh,
about that later.
all right, we'll start with Jamie.
Sorry, Jamie.
I do.
After getting together with Jeff and talking about Supernova and all that, I had the opportunity to hear some of his solo project work, which is absolutely amazing. He won't tell you that, but I will. And he's been really kind enough to let us share one of those songs pre-release tonight with everybody watching. And I'm really thankful for that, especially since I know it's a very important song to him. Tell us about your project After the Comma before we get into this.
Sure. So first of all, the reason, and I know I mentioned it to you guys, but the reason that I really wanted to give you the song to play before it came out was you guys had a huge, you reached out to ask me some questions, right? Like for the last interview. And that hasn't happened really like in a very long time. And it was kind of cool. And then I was thinking about it, and really never happened ever, to be honest. Like I didn't really get a lot of questions. So like a lot of stories and things, happen organically. And this song sort of spoke to a little bit of that. And on the other side, it was a thank you just for being so amazing, doing everything that you do for the scene. Look, you're going to play the first song, that I'm putting out in, real song, like full song, and also, some other stuff that you're doing first for. So first interview, first song, and, we'll talk about first show later, but, yeah, so it's a thank you. And also like, there's a little bit of a reason for it, but, the project that I have is, and I'm going to try to do it. I don't know if I could do it poetically or technically, but, basically it's called After the Comma. And what it is was my Enough is Enough kind of project, where I had been writing so much over the course of, however many years, and not really doing much with it. And it is like essentially a living songbook, like where the songs, it's just me, but I'll be collaborating with whomever, whoever a song speaks to. But I write songs, and then I put them into this kind of songbook where it will be public, and you'll see the process. You're going to see the lyrics before the music. You're going to see like different iterations of it. You're going to hear voice memos. It's just a full on like opposite end of the spectrum from where I've been, which is it's unguarded. It's like the, nooks and crannies and scars and everything and purple notes and whatever. And then just see where these songs end up through collaborations, because I just felt that songs didn't have to exist in a vacuum anymore. I always look back at stuff in the past and I get, it's cringy. So we don't really have the, reason to not do it anymore. So essentially it's, where music can kind of grow and breathe and evolve, just like, we do as people and with us. So they're pretty much always incomplete and in the middle of the story, and you never know what you're going to get. You might end up getting one version and it's acoustic, or you might end up getting 6 different iterations with different bands playing. So that's really the long and short of it, but it'll be like a stay tuned thing. Now, this song sort of has the uh a- it it defines it through an example, because it's hard to understand the idea I have in my head without it being in context. So this song is it's a full version of a song that I started writing in 2016, I believe, that had a different name, and it had the same theme, but it wasn't saying the right thing, I think. And over time, it's changed. And this song is like the next step. We're right now calling it like the first take. So you'll hear this song, which will be released with like some voice memos of me writing it, a different iteration of it, and also an acoustic version of it. And then we've already recorded it with a full horn section. And I've sent it out to others for other horn sections, including some people that are in one of the squares currently. And it's just going to be like where it goes, we don't know. And that's always been the problem for me, is what's the end game? And really, there is no end game now. We don't have to. So we have, we're democratized all forms of, recording and distributing and everything. So we don't have to settle anymore. We can just tattoo something and then we can redo that tattoo later if we want, or change it, or, completely blow it up and take the pieces and turn it into something else. So it's a living, fluid, organic thing that will be purely collaborative, and hopefully like strengthen the community. But the idea, the name after the comma pretty much says it. So it's like what comes after the comma when you read someone's name is like just as important as the name itself. So pretty much every title will be the title of the song, comma, and then really its legacy, right? So it'll be multiple versions of songs, and they'll just continue to live and change, or sometimes just stop or die on the vine. But that's the point of it.
Sorry.
Right.
So the song that we're
You
talking
know that
about.
if you stop talking, I'm just going to keep going, right?
The song is called The Catch, and it is a song that is meant to be what?
The song is what?
It's meant to be what? You want people to try to
So
what they
no, that's
right?
something. So yeah, initially it was written and it's like it's got a lot of meaning. It's very special to me. But I say just listen to it, and then, you know, I'm an open book at this point. I never was. And now, you know, this is me being completely vulnerable. And I will say that a lot of it has, it tells a little bit of the story as to why I made a decision to leave Catch 22. Um, so it's like a diary entry in the form of a song. And I want to say that I had a lot of help on it. Jeff Cohn, who we mentioned earlier from Friends with Salad, huge collaborator for me. He's amazing, and he helped me tweak some things. I was like, he was like, he saw every version of this song, all the lyrics, and there were many, many, many. And he sang a lot of background vocals, and he was always like at my disposal, like whatever hour of the night he was doing background vocals or whatever, and just giving me ideas and tweaking some of the lyrics and stuff. So Jeff was huge. Josh Hershkovitz from Backyard Superheroes was gigantic. He did the guitar. And then Wefton from Chemical Imbalance. He played bass, killed the bass. And this crew, and Josh also did background vocals, but yeah, I did the drums, which were programmed, but we also have a cut without drums. So essentially, this is like a classified ad, right? Like if you like it and you want to write drums to it and record them, you can do that. If you're, you're a band, you have horns, you want to put horn lines in, whatever you think, and then we can talk. So this is like, hit me up if you're interested, if this song speaks to you, and that's going to be for every song that comes out, which should be interesting once these things go out there and people are playing live and they play with another band and they collaborated on something or I'm there and, can jump up with them or vice versa. So, but yeah, thanks to those guys, to Josh, Jeff, and Wes. They really killed it. And future of this song is to be seen, and the future of After the Comma is to be seen as well. So choose your own adventure, open-ended.
Awesome.
You done, Jeff?
Oh,
No, yeah. Just play the fucking song.
We do an episode or a segment on SKAgazine typically called Brain on Ska. And we didn't get a chance to do that with Jeff last time he was on, but we like to kind of get into the message behind the music and the inspiration behind some songs. And Jamie, you might have been a part of this at one point, so you know what I'm talking about. We're going to play the song, but we want you to listen to it and try to decipher what you think it means, even if Jeff tells you not to.
No, go for it. That's the point. I want this to be this is a dialogue. This song is a dialogue. And I want there to be clarification for where it came from. But I do think that I know that I appreciate hearing what songs are about, like, storytellers and MTV Unplugged, all that stuff. I always love that. I always love seeing behind the scenes, how things are done. And that's where I'm at. I'm gonna like when I go through these things, I'm going to show like the book that gets me through writer's block. Like I have my Bible, whether that is for everyone else or not, doesn't matter. But even if it's just one person that's like, oh shit, like let me check that out and it works. Well, there's somebody that, was impacted by it. All that stuff. Like it's just going to be full disclosure whenever I can. As I write things, and then I might even ask for like, what do you think? Participation. Like, I don't know which direction to go. This all came from indecisiveness, and then I realized I don't have to decide. Everything doesn't have to be final anymore. We don't have to decide. Like, oh, should this be a ska song? Should this be like a chill whatever, song? You don't have to do that. You can do both now. It like easily. So that's where it is. It's just a different approach. Anyway.
So we're going to play the song and everyone's going to give feedback.
Great.
How's that sound?
Fantastic. Not nervous at all.
You shouldn't be. It's going to take me a sec because, you guys can talk while I do this though. You want it?
This is like to me letting I don't know, it's just Righteous.
It's always much easier when you test.
No pressure, Jess, but it's kind of the moment, huh?
Shut up, Patrick.
Do you just want to sing it for us, guys? I don't know.
No, absolutely not. I just don't know why the when I open it, the art's not showing up, and it did earlier. But
You don't have to worry about the art.
Jamie, stop laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Oh, you are.
Nice cover, Jamie.
Yeah,
Is
this
this-
art
is
might
this-
not be showing up, Jeff. I'm
is this
Don't
sorry.
worry
the
about
song
don't
you
worry,
started
don't worry
on,
about the
Jeff?
art. Don't worry about the art. I'll just do this. And then you can see the
Oh,
There's the art.
that's the art. It looks
Jeff
good.
has-
there's the art.
Jeff is the art.
Oh, I got the art up. Put the art away, Jeff.
I left.
I wasn't gonna do it without the art. I just wasn't.
Yeah, that's
right.
another story.
Everybody mute yourself. We're going.
Ooh, the art.
Build me up and break me down. Spin me round and round and round. I'm holding on and I'll keep on holding on. I've got a ringing in my ear and a riot in my soul. Things that I can and things that I can't control. I got a conscience made of concrete. My confidence is crumbling like coal. Raise your wrist, point your pistol, get some sticks, grab a fistful of stones. You're stuck on a one-way street. We're flying down the highway home. Build me up, then break me down. Spin me round and round. I'm holding on and I'll keep on holding on. I can't relax, snap like a rubber band. If no one asked, gotta wonder how they understand. Blind to the facts, rewind and run it back again. And again and again and again and again and again. Raise your wrist and point your pistol. Get some sticks and pick up a fistful of stones. You're stuck on a one-way street while I'm flying down the highway home. First, let's take a second to get the elephant out the door. The third dog did while two dogs kept on barking back and forth. But the fifth, that was it. The pup was going home. His sixth sense said, this will never be your bone. Then if we did or didn't, and there's a catch, you put the ball back on the mound before the seventh inning stretch. The crowd went wild on both sides. It goes 1/8 to 22. Some said he never should have played. Some said he left the game too soon. His ninth and final death caused by should or shouldn't do. Had in his head the last thing said by the 10th Doctor Who. Build me up, then break me down. Spin me round and round. I'm holding on and I'll keep on holding on. I'll never know what's right from wrong, but what I have until it's gone. So now I'm holding on and I'll keep on holding on. Build me up and break me down. Spin me round and round. Holding on and I'll keep on holding on.
Thank you.
I can't snap it. I'll do it with you.
I was muted, but I was clapping.
It's only the like I only heard that song for the first time today. I had never heard that song before. Jeff's like, "Hey, have I shared this tune with you?" I was like, "No," and I fucking love that tune.
Thanks.
I, I really enjoy it, Jeff. As
Thanks.
soon as I heard it, I was like, I'm downloading this, I'm throwing it into Logic, and I'm going to start experimenting with horns
Yeah,
on it. As
that
soon
was
as I
really
heard it, ooh, there's lines in here, and I just love that tune. So thanks for sharing it, Jeff. It's going to be awesome. I mean,
no,
it's already awesome, but I know you're going to lay in drums that are live as opposed to the program ones, and it already sounds great. I mean,
yeah,
and
but
as
that's
as a guy who's had to walk away from good bands to take care of kids or whatever, like there comes a time and no one knows it unless you're in a band. And it's one thing to walk away from a band that's kind of a mess. It's another thing to walk away from a band that's somewhat successful. And like I can hear your struggle in that song. I know what that's like. It's a fucking tough choice to make when you make it. And I love
yeah.
that song. It's a good one. It hits me in the feels.
Yep. Yeah, me too. Thanks though. But yeah, it's for me, I didn't and I said this to some of you guys one night after rehearsal, like we were just talking about it, and it was like, I don't know why I left. Like I can't, I blacked out, like I don't know. It was just a decision, right? Like just made it. And truthfully, before that rehearsal, it was the first one, and I didn't want to be the first one there. And I was at the Starbucks or whatever down the road, and I was finishing this song, and it like I got it, like, and it sort of poured out. Like I completely flipped it, and anyone that saw the other versions, it
Yeah,
was
it's funny how that happens, right? Like
yeah,
I've done that like the night before going into the studio and being like, this song doesn't end right.
mhm,
Like
yeah,
I I haven't wrapped this thought up. And then like all of a sudden 20 minutes goes by and you're like, oh shit, now it's over. That's what I needed. That was the
yeah. It took a scene,
sometimes
it took a feeling.
sometimes
Yeah,
yeah, sometimes you need to look into the abyss and be like, fuck, how'd I get here? And you're like, oh, there's the lyric.
yeah,
There's the one I needed to finish that thought.
yeah.
And so yeah, I dig the lyrics. It's I'm not gonna blow up any spots here on SKAgazine tonight, but you left after I did. I left before you in Catch 22 at that time to take care of my kids. I remember flying out of San Antonio. I know exactly why I got on that plane. And so I wasn't there when you left. But for the history of Catch 22, that was pivotal. Like your involvement in Catch 22 was pivotal, and so was your leaving. Your arrival and your leaving. It's
Yeah.
so it's nice to have a song about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's you know, in there's this kind of say it, but this like weird, this is my perspective, like this is the chaos, and that's the point of the song, going like, guitar and drums, like just, and then taking off and then going back. You're supposed to feel like you're kind of start and stop and go and then swirling around, and then like, and at the end, having that, like, that's a voice memo. That was like me just playing on my phone. That's There's a lot of to me, a lot of Alone in the Crowd qualities to this song if you get the acoustic version. In fact, the original version had back and forth, side to side in it. Like I was intertwining some of those lyrics, but this is one that, yeah, it speaks, all positive, honestly, at the end of the day, even though like there's a lot of fuck yous to people.
Well, there's a lot of chaos in this
Yeah.
in this genre. Like we are the genre of chaos, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh Well, but it's a happy chaos, but
Hmm.
it's chaos just the same.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. We have voice memo and we have this
Hmm.
computer in our pocket and the ability to multi-track. Like we didn't have any of these tools back in the Alone in the Crowd days. I wrote the string parts out by hand and went into the studio and you know
Yeah.
directed the string section so we could get these parts out.
Yeah.
And we just didn't have the tools we have now. So it's crazy that you can just sing into your phone and you can actually overdub in voice memos now and
Crazy. It's
just
crazy.
but at the end of the day I'm writing in journals just like you were talking
Well,
about writing
yeah.
at I on the road. I don't know if you remember this, but I would write every night because I
Yeah,
would
I know.
remember. I would never
That's
remember what.
gold right there.
Yeah, I would take out
I
books.
wish.
I would write
Yeah.
every night I was on the road. I wrote and I wrote like who we met. We played at
Hmm.
this bar called Beretta's in Detroit or something like something crazy I would never remember
Yeah,
otherwise. But
definitely. No, that's huge. You're going to be my go-to, when it's like, hey, where was that place? Like I
I
do,
got
like
it
I do
all.
have some of those, and I remember you were there, so yeah.
Did
But
you go to the Mets game? I mean, did you go to the Mets game at Wrigley Field when we saw the Cubs? Were you
I
at that?
didn't. I was there, but I was no, no, no. You guys, that was the year before. That was or not the year before. It was
That was
the
a,
tour before me when you guys first went to Chicago. I
but I
think.
digress. The song is great,
Yeah.
and yeah, I already started writing parts for it. Not that you'll use them. I don't know that you'll
I
use
heard
them.
him. No, I
It was
heard
just
him.
fun.
I
They
love
were,
it.
they were
Yeah.
sloppy as hell. I was just
No,
slapping some shit out
I
real
love
quick.
that how like organic that was, and that's the point though. Like that's
Right.
really what I want from this whole project is like I'm gonna be putting out things like this is the first take of it, but there's more for it to go, like different directions, and you might hear something in the acoustic version that like it's like, hey man, let me like try to like do whatever, like the guitar part, and I'll lay it down, throw it back at you. I think it should be this tempo. Everyone will have that opportunity. It's going to be purely collaborative, because I'm
Really
not,
interesting.
So just to see where that goes, because I think it would be
Yeah, I
interesting.
had this. I had the same issue. I was writing songs. I'm like, how am I going to do this? I'm going to do it with cats. Am I going to do it with my
Right.
son's band? Am I going to do it with all these musicians I've known in the past? It's always a tricky way to kind of figure out how you're going to pull that together. I was doing music with Josh Ainsley, like for a while there, and
Yeah. Yeah.
he's got a bunch of recordings sitting there right now too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's always tricky.
Yeah. So
Out
that's,
of, can I ask questions or no?
yes, go
All
for
right.
it.
All right. So I was telling my girlfriend about the song, and then I told her your Doctor Who reference, and I think anybody who watched Doctor Who is gonna hear that reference and be like, "Oh man, that's so sad." So was this? Did you struggle with regrets or your feelings about leaving the band for a long period of time, or did that just work
Uh,
with the song? I guess. Yeah, I don't want to go. So
so I love that because that's my least favorite line that I think I've ever written. Literally, I hate that line. So now I know everyone's only heard it once, right? Like I've had the opportunity to have it pounded into my brain, millions of times. But the the thought for that third verse, it's an ordinal counting kind of thing, that I took from like actually Hamilton, like Lin-Manuel, like how he I forgot what it was. It was the farmers. I forgot what it was, where he hits two vocals singing, but hitting on the same lines, kind of, right? Like hitting in the same words, but they're singing different things. I thought that was just so creative and interesting, and I kind of wanted to do something like that. And it just came to me, but I wanted it to be about like sort of like the nine lives, right? Like, because I was constantly living and dying, right? Like that's what it felt like. I was excited, but then somebody would break you, take you down because the negatives always outweighed things. Um, so it didn't matter how high you were, you could fucking be killed immediately just by somebody saying something. This wasn't Reddit. This wasn't anything. this was just honestly, possibly just in my head, like just what I thought was being said. But those 9 lives. And then that 10th, when I got to 10th, like, so when it was like, first, let's take a second to get the elephant out the door, right? The third dog hid while 2 dogs kept on barking back and forth. All the way to, his 9th and final death caused by should or shouldn't do. But in his head, the last thing said by the 10th Doctor Who. And I think I mean, you said it, but that I was looking for I was trying to figure out what's 10, what the 10th, what the Doctor Who reference is it. So my least favorite line, but the point of the fucking song.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that because
Sure.
If you're not nerdy enough to know what it is, right? Then you gotta look.
You're gonna go Google it, but
yeah, and it is sad. So that's the point.
well, the line hits home, even if it is your least favorite.
No,
It definitely hits home with people.
That's sort of the dichotomy of it, right? It is my least, or the irony, right? It's the least favorite, but my favorite meaning, and it had to be said. But I can't figure out a way to do it acoustically. That should be interesting. I mean, I have it done, but it's like that kind of is cringy too. But, yeah, I'm glad you caught on to the reference.
Thank you. Jess, it's you. Do you want help?
No, yes, please. Help me, Eric.
Well, Jeff, thank you for sharing something that was so personal and honestly special to you. And I mean that I'm taking Jess's line, but like you really open up a piece of
Let me
yourself.
do that, Eric. Let me do that.
Oh, you just told me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Honestly.
Yeah. No,
Like,
thank you guys.
I didn't know how hard this was going to be. I knew I was going to fuck it up. I told you I was going to fuck it up, but
And I told you weren't, and I think I fucked it up, but
no, I think I did.
I'm
Like,
pretty sure it was Jamie. I don't even know why.
my screen because I
I'll take
cried.
the blame.
I'll be totally honest. I cried because it was just, I don't know. And then I came and talk about it, and I'm like, thank God Jamie was here to fucking talk about it. You have no idea what this means, and I know what this means to you, and I'm bad with words, but thank you.
No.
I care so much about this song and about you and everything that's happened, and
Yeah. It's like a different, like another fucking Doctor Who is, regenerated at this point, right? Like that's like where I feel like that's what I feel like. So it's going to be really interesting because I'm ready to, like I was saying, it's like it feels like floodgates, like there's so much stuff that I have that is ready. I'm ready. Like, and I don't care where it's at. I'm just unguarded and I'm gonna be vulnerable and just do it. So, that's it.
I'm proud of you.
That's
So, Jess, what about Jamie? Has he been doing anything lately?
Jamie. I don't know. What's Jamie been up to? He have this thing going on called the World's After Party.
Oh yeah, I think we already talked about that though.
We did, but
I feel like it's about Jeff tonight. Like
stop. You always say that. You deflect so much. It's ridiculous.
I'm proud of Jeff. This is
proud of Jeff
I
too.
heard this song for the first time today, and I'm still absorbing it. You know what I mean? I like I said, I put it right in the dome. I started writing against it, and I was like, man, this is good. This is good. Ryan with Catch 22 has also been writing a lot of music, so I've been working on his stuff too. Where we got so many irons in the fire right now. It's just been a fertile time. So it's been
great
time. I've been enjoying it.
It's a happy problem, man. Like I
yeah.
love the stuff that I've been hearing from you guys, and I can't wait. And it's like, you know, I'm just glad that it's alive because there was that period that was like, where, you know, is there anything happening? So I love it's just everything's so refreshed now, you know, it's cool.
I think you talk about these things, and I think so many times in this business you get written off as dead, and you're like, that guy's not dead yet, and you're like, you're writing something else, and they're like, oh shit, I thought that guy was gone, and then he comes back the other way, and I think part of the deal is as you go through this and you get older, when you're younger, of course, you want everything that goes along with good artistry, and that doesn't always happen. And then at some point you get older and you're like, no, you're an artist, you got to paint. Like, it doesn't matter if anyone buys the painting, you gotta fucking paint because you're an artist, you can't help it, you're gonna do it. And that's a lot of people in the industry will take advantage of that. Like, we're going to keep playing, we're going to keep writing, and we don't. Well, we would love for you to like it, but if you don't, we can't. It's like breathing or eating. We have to do it. So we're just going to keep doing it. So I'm glad to hear Jeff's new stuff. It's great. I love hearing Ryan's stuff and Catch 22 and their new stuff. And Connor's always had a band and he's always writing stuff. And for me, I like writing too. So I'm glad to have these venues where I can put things out. And I think a big part of it for me, Jeff, I don't know about you, but part of it was like, I had to just give myself permissions. Like, I want to climb that mountain. I might not get all the way to the top, or I might not be the one that climbed it the fastest. I might not have the first, but I want to do it. I just want to add my voice into the lexicon of whatever this thing is. I just want to have music in there as for your consideration. For your consideration, here's this song. And if you fucking hate it and you tell me it sucks, and that's good. Like, actually, you considered it. And so, like, it's just giving for me personally, it was like, I just got to give myself permission to take a risk that this might suck and do it anyway. So I'm glad to have stuff out there. I know Jess is talking about that album I just put out with Connor. And that was a lot of fun.
Oh, Jamie.
What's that?
What's that album called?
Not Dead Yet. It's by a band called The World's After Party, which was Connor's original band in college. It's had a couple of, not too many actual changes of personnel, but a couple, and it's evolved a little bit over time. And so we recently recorded at Retro Media Studios in Red Bank with Doug Gallo, who does a lot of local scene stuff down there in Red Bank. And we got in there with I think I used Joe Scala from The Best of the Worst on one of the tracks, or a couple of the tracks for drums, and Danny Noodleman, and some of the guys, Kevin from Catch 22, and a lot of guys from his band too, The World's After Party. And so that we just released that's on Spotify and iTunes, and all the people that rob us blind and don't actually pay us, but somehow make money on our art because they know we're going to write it anyway, the filthy fucking bastards that they are. But you could also buy it on Bandcamp if you want to forego the CEOs that are making you starve. So anyway, it's out there. And we're going to actually play a show. The first show we played was for you, of course, Jess. That show was great. Thanks for putting it together. And we're actually going to play our second show. I'm surprised we're actually playing with Catch 22 down at the Wonder Bar in Asbury. So that's coming up. I don't know if I should have said that because I don't know if that's out there in the ether.
It's been out there now.
Is it? Okay, good. So anyway.
When is that show?
Probably not supposed to say, but I'll say that the World's After Party is playing the Wonder Bar with an unknown band that was dumb enough to hire them as their opening act on December 19th. So,
Wow.
yeah. And another band of ours that are friends of ours that we enjoy or Keep Flying. So,
Yeah.
So,
okay, so Catch 22 is also playing Scala Days this year in Scranton.
okay, so this is the day before that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't make the 19th show. I have.
Is there a show after that on the Sunday? I shouldn't be asking you guys. I should be looking at my own calendar.
Not that I know.
I just go where they
I don't know. Is there a show that Sunday by any chance?
I don't know, because Eric's flying in that weekend. So, no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jess, for doing this and for sharing everything that you share with everybody. And it was nice to meet Tim. I actually never met him before. It gave me a chance to thank him, especially all the staff, because they were amazing. So thanks for that.
You had to make your own peanut butter and jelly.
Listen, I didn't mind making my own peanut. I'm not above making my own peanut butter and jelly. I'm not that big of a star.
I was making your peanut butter and jelly in the kitchen before we left, and Christian was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm making a peanut butter and jelly for Jamie," and he was like, "You're just wasting money. He's not going to eat it." And then you ate it. And I was like, "Look, he's eating that."
That is bullshit. Of course, I'm going to eat it.
That was great.
I live on peanut butter and jelly.
I thought it was a joke, but it turned out it
was.
was.
I was surprised. I didn't know when I got there. It's like Connor's like, "Yeah, that's the only thing I asked for." I'm like, "What? I get peanut butter and jelly? This is awesome. It's a great show."
That is great.
I was happy to take care of you. We are going to close this out actually by sharing your songs on the World Day.
Thanks.
For everyone that's still here, there's still quite a few people watching. So, do you have a preferred song? Because I do. I'm just going to pick mine if you don't.
I'm going to let you pick it. You can pick any song you want off that album. It's fine.
Hopefully, I won't have as many issues sharing this time.
Let's see.
We're about to find out, Jess.
Shut up, Eric.
Who's singing the one that she picks? That's the question.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you know what it's going to be, James.
Both of you.
I have no idea.
It'll be 8 minutes long. I will tell you that.
8 minutes long. So
I
was mad on this album because I had both the shortest song and the longest song.
Well,
so is this the one? Is this the one with the mambo in the middle of it? Because talk about the fact that you could do whatever the fuck you want these days because you don't have a record company and they can't cut all your shit. Something tells me this is the song that has a mambo in the middle of it.
Shit. Oh, did you hear that? I hope you don't know. All right, I'm just gonna play it. Everybody mute.
Wait, Jess, did you hit play yet?
Not yet.
All right. So just to clarify, I'm following your outline here.
I'm going to play the song first, and then you can close it, okay? Please.
Okay. That sounds good. You don't have to say please.
Now you distracted me.
So does the process start over now?
Yes.
You sure you don't want me to close this now?
Well, I don't know if there's room for us both here. I find a bio that you.
I'm so mad right now, Eric. Leave me alone. I'm glad it's just the four of us here and nobody's watching us live or anything.
You can edit it later on. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Why you inspire?
Oh my God. I'm not made to do this.
Immunity, impunity. You want a calamity from a lead-crazed renegade. Parody becomes reality. Obsessed with getting their world peace. Too vain, too cold, and too evil. They mesmerize and proselytize and not see eye to people. We're barely getting by. We need a way to unite. Source of Flags flowing, wind blowing, former glory. A bit confusing, your freedom does not mean free from me. Hypocrisy, now hard to see why there's a lack of unity. Hate mongering, monstrosity, an American staple. Too vain, too cold, and too evil. They mesmerize and proselytize and not seen eye to people. We're barely getting by. Did we wait too long to unite? Drain the swamp, you say. No, let's take it further. We need to remove from us this malignant tumor. The promises that brought us here so cancerous and spreading. It's insidious, too slow to care for too long. We let it fester.
That Connor.
I don't know. His parents must have really screwed that kid up. That's all I can say.
Such a cool song. There's so much going on. Like I don't even know what you did. Like
Connor's so angry.
The music behind it is like it's not, it's like as that's happened, but then it drops to I don't know what you did there. Like at the end, it like dropped, or maybe you just added like a baritone.
That
so cool.
That chord progression, just that slight change at the end, really.
That's
dark. It gets dark.
Yeah, but that's right when he got that. Like, but the thing I love about Connor is like so unsuspecting, the nicest kid on the freaking planet, right? Like, so nice. Yeah, happy. Like, let's go. Like, I remember at Supernova, he's like, "What are you going to watch? Let's go watch. Like, let's go do it." Right? That kid can scream. I mean, the kid took over for Jamie Hatebreed in like the Catch-22 song, right? And it's really cool. He's got so much energy. But I love that song. Yeah.
He is a high energy kid. And that song World Peace, I remember when we were working on that, we all sing on each other's songs. Like he and I kind of sing together. We harmonize each other's songs. And I remember working out the lyrics on that in the beginning, and it just went in a great.
It's got so much energy. I love that song. What was that? Was I talking?
I think Jamie's gone. Jamie?
No, I'm still here.
I don't know what that was.
There was like a weird delay just for a second.
There was.
That was me.
It was you, Eric.
That was a weird delay.
I thought it was Eric.
Yeah.
I thought it was his voice. That's why I stopped.
I during the song I turned on the YouTube version of us live, and I turned up the volume to see what was going on.
There's like a delay, and
You're just checking to
Yeah.
see you're seeing how the stream was going.
Yeah, I was seeing the comments on it, and then
Yeah.
that's what happened. My bad, I ruined it.
No, but I love that song. There's so much going on. It's like this crazy, man, like I don't know. The undertones behind that very poppy chorus, you know?
Yeah, it's a funny song. When we finished it in the studio and the first mixes came back, we went, "Oh shit, we wrote a pop song." But the song itself is so dark.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
really hits it all. It's like I'm enjoying, like I'm like, yeah, no, wait, we should, right? Like then you're like listening to the words, like the words don't match the feel, but then they do because the feel underneath has like that kind of tone.
we bring you there eventually. Eventually,
Yeah,
we get
totally, totally.
you.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And it's great. Does Kevin play on that one?
No, Kevin doesn't play on that one. He played on Mother's Bastard, and he played on that day.
Oh, yeah,
And he
that's a
played
good
on
one.
I don't remember if he played on the intro. There's a couple songs we haven't put out yet that we still got from that
No.
recording as well, but didn't fit the album. They'll
Yeah.
be out later this year, I think, or early next year.
Second I heard it, I wasn't kidding. I think I saw you like a few days after or whatever. I ran it back. I was running it. It was like a holiday weekend. I think we were driving. I was playing. I was like, that "Not Dead Yet" song. I was like, this is those lyrics are special. But yeah, the whole thing right off the bat, the first track, it's good stuff.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Real.
You know, like I said, it's out there now. There's nothing you can do. You know, it's like your lyrics, right? Yeah, I don't want to tell anybody really what they are because I want them to own them for themselves. You know, you stare at the painting and you decide what it means to you, and that's important to you. And there's a story behind it, and there's a story behind your lyrics, but I don't own it anymore. Once I put it out there, I don't own it anymore, sort of, you know.
I love that. I love that because that's like the conversation, like behind where I'm going, right? I'm exploring the other way.
I'll tell
I've
you
always,
later if you want to know what was
no, no,
going
no,
through.
no. I'm just saying in terms of like what I'm doing with like after the comma right now, I'm
Right.
exploring the other way. It was always like my work speaks for itself, do what it, interpret it you want. But I wanted this time I'm like, I kind of want it to be for me, I want this stuff
Mhm.
to be back and forth because I want people to be engaged and then hear, like what it should be. And then they're like, I heard this, which is an organic thing that happened when Jess and I spoke about the one song. She's like, and actually, Kelly, my wife, she said something. She's like, I hear this. And I'm like, I didn't think of that. Oh my God. And I said that to Jess too. So it can still mean things to people. That's what I've learned through this like exercise. And everything I do now is an exercise on the like that side of the seesaw, like because I haven't collaborated in 20 something years. I haven't written anything like kitschy either. It's been very emotional. So we explored that, in some collaboration. So like, it's kind of funny you say like, it's out there, keep the story. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you what it is. And you tell me if you hear that. Did I do it?
Well, with your collaborators, with the people you're actually writing with, you need to. I've been writing a lot with Connor and my son, and that's a weird thing because I've always been extremely supportive of Connor and whatever his art is. I've never been critical because I figure the world will do that, right? Because the world's critical. And they always say like every kid is an artist until their parent tells them they're not, or until an adult tells them they aren't, right? So I never wanted to be that guy. But now that me and Connor are writing together, I have to take criticism from Connor. I gotta be like, Connor, whatever you tell me, I'm gonna absorb it and I'm gonna work on it, change it, whatever, meld it into what we are. And that's a tricky thing, but it was also tricky for me because I hadn't really done that with Connor. I hadn't been that, I was like just the cheerleader, and then it puts me in a little bit of a weird spot to be like,
Yeah.
let's work these lyrics out a little bit. We could bend this a little bit more to get it to more what you're trying to say. And it's a tricky spot to be, right? So even with you, when you're collaborating and you're opening up to the world, you want collaborators that are gonna, it's tricky. You need collaborators that will work to the greater good and not
100%. Well, I think that it's like
leave that
everyone has,
toxicity,
yeah, I think everyone has their strengths and I have tons of weaknesses, right? So it's like,
Well, we all do.
you know, I've been,
The only one you can't trust is the one that says they have none. Those are the
yeah,
people.
right. But identifying what they are is really the tricky thing because you lean on your crutches and your comforts and like you end up doing that and you can only exhaust it, right? So like this, for me, especially being like as whatever self-absorbed and self-centered and self-everything like for so many years, it's like, no, I'm gonna just open up and it's like I'm gonna listen. So let's see what that does. And it's been interesting. And then all it takes is like one time to be like, oh shit, I tried something different here. I didn't stay, this is what I'm trying to say, this is what I want to do. I listened and it's like completely changed something I would never do. And it's like I love it, because I end up hating everything anyway down the road that I did
Oh yeah.
so but it's really cool to like just explore these different like ways of approaching things, like I'll only write with this guitarist. This is my, this guy is, those are all coddlers and like they're your supporters. Like it's great to go to like the peanut gallery and be like, like you like this? Yeah, okay, let's keep going. It's better to have somebody be like either I know I've heard you do better, or like something that's critical that is also motivating and you know gets it to the right place rather than where your head is. So interesting dynamic with you and Connor though, right? Because you're supposed to tell him what to do, and now he's possibly telling you a little bit.
I never really told Connor what to do too much.
That's a good point. You're always, yeah, all right.
Connor was always a good hang, even as a little kid. He would always just hang out, whether I was working with marching band or he was just glad to make the scene, hang around. He's always a good kid, and he's easy.
Still, yeah.
Still doing it. Still
Cool.
doing it. All right. How we doing there, Jess? Did we do it?
Wrap this up. Yeah.
Okay, because my dog is looking at me like he wants to know why we're not in bed yet.
Yeah.
He's tired.
It's been going. Eric, you want to close it up?
Sure. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you, Tim and other Eric, who has already went to bed.
Oh, I thought you thought they were still here for a minute.
I can see, Jess. Is that why you giggled? You thought like, oh gosh, you thought everyone was still on.
I thought you were calling one of them Tim for a second.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, gentlemen, thank you for being on tonight. We appreciate that first listen to bringing your song into the world today, and thank you for trusting us with that, in all honesty. So everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next time. I know you're giving me the look because I didn't do the catchphrase, but I feel like we did it at the beginning.
That's fine. Whatever.
I'll do it again though.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one. Thanks, guys.